Welcome back. Oh, yeah, I did forget something.
It happens, it happens. To the best of us.
Anyway, let's try that for round 2, shall we? And welcome back to another episode of By the Dice.
Nox Vitalia.
Nox Vitalia tonight, and we're still in the Evermist campaign. We haven't made it so far broken that I can't run it anymore. Yay!
Yay!
The things are about to get hairy. So, announcements. First of all, thank you to Martia's Muses. The link to their YouTube page. Please remember, like, subscribe. Check their stuff out. It's a lot of nice ambient, chill sounds. I'm really liking what I'm finding in there. It came up under royalty-free music, but I really do like what I'm finding there. And they even say themselves that aside from a few samples, they write most of the scores themselves. So, that's cool. Also, after much deliberation and thought and conversation amongst ourselves off camera and all that good stuff, we are going to take Nox Vitalia back to 5e, first of all, because we all know the rules a little bit better, and those of us who don't know the rules that well will have an easier time learning if everybody else knows the bloody rules. Also, it's nice to have books.
And we have the books for 5th edition.
And we have the books for a good chunk of 5th edition, including the Spelljammer stuff, so that'll be fun.
Oh, I got that.
My question is, did mine ever...
No.
It never showed up?
No, I got a notification that it was lost at sea.
No!
Oh,
wait, what?
She
My
got me a
package fell in the
Mordenkainen's
ocean.
tomb for Christmas and it never showed up.
No, it fell in the ocean.
It's lost at sea. Oh my god.
Oh, apparently Mordekainen is on an adventure instead of coming to deliver his tome to Chris.
That is...
It's the thought that counts. I appreciate it.
Exactly.
You
And
can't help
that's
having
what
it
I've
get
got.
lost at
So, Naya, that brings us to you.
And as always, a huge thank you to Reptiles for sponsoring ink and paper. And currently, also fuel for some of us to get to game. And so, where did my... Thank you, ADHD. Where did my brain go? Reptiles is a smaller scale rescue here in Eugene, Oregon, and they could always use some more support. I believe their Facebook page should be in the description. If it's not now, it will be later.
Their name is and the location, Eugene, Oregon, is currently in there. The rest of the information I need posted into it so that I can just copy and paste it in the future and make life easier.
Alright.
It's a lot to memorize. And, Liz?
I want to give a huge shout out to John, Pudgy, Jordan, and yes, myself also. We have been busting butt all week. Yes, the lighting is different. Yes, it's still not good. We are so sorry about that, folks. We have heard your feedback on that. We are working on it. We're just on a really crunchy budget right now. That's going to hopefully open up a little bit more in the future, and we'll get some better lighting in here. But we busted butt just doing some deep cleaning in here and trying to make the space a little bit nicer, hopefully a little bit easier for you guys to see stuff. So I just want to thank you guys for putting in a bunch of hard work and really getting stuff done this week.
Totally.
I don't know if you guys can see that on the camera, but believe it or not, we tornadoed through here and cleaned a bunch of stuff up. And
Looks
Well,
like
you can at least see the top of the shelves. Everything's been switched out. Calendars, the lamp is now moved from where it was.
I don't love this either, but
There's more space in the living room?
yeah, there's a lot more space. Yeah.
Yeah.
So hopefully things will be a
no.
little,
No.
and we'll just keep working on it. We really appreciate you guys sticking with us on a regular, watching our little improvements. We know we've still got work to do on lighting, sound, and we've got some other exciting stuff coming up. We'll be streaming to Twitch at some point in the future. We'll be doing some pre-recorded videos where we edit out all the nonsense, But anyway, so thank you guys all for sticking with us. We really appreciate it, and thank you guys for busting about this week getting that done.
Congrats to all of you. It was
What
a
about you,
huge achievement.
Big shout out to Patty and John for dinner tonight. Thank you guys for the awesome barbecued chicken.
Pudgy
Yes.
got his.
Oh!
Yeah.
Pudgy had an incident with a puppy. Ow.
Puppy power!
My stomach hurts.
And it wasn't just a little bit, like she stood on them.
Oh! Oh, so bad.
I'm trying not to laugh over here because I'm trying to keep composure, but it was kind of funny.
If she wasn't such a sweetheart,
I
He'd
think
be
that-
angry.
yeah, I think that.
Anyways, big shout out to Rare Earth. They are a local dispensary here in Eugene that provides all our old Toby for us. I am the manager of the shop. If you guys wanted to come in and check us out, if you're ever in Eugene, Oregon,
Guess
our
what?
address is 2880 Elmira Road in Suite B. So come in, check us out. We heard lately that we've got some of the best prices in town.
You
Yeah,
really
actually-
do. You actually really
Actually,
do.
if you research it, it does show up as having the best prices.
So we have some of the best product at some of the cheapest prices in town, and so come and check us out, and you won't be disappointed.
Yeah, you will not be disappointed.
No.
We get all our
Not
old
one
Toby
bit.
there.
it's
Very
definitely a
convenient,
place
just
to go.
off Highway 99.
Yep.
Yep.
So come check us out, and please 21 or older. Thank
And it's
you.
what, within maybe 20 minutes here? So it's
No.
easy for us to get to it no matter where we're at.
Yeah.
On the way to the game, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any other announcements?
No,
Was
All
that
right.
to the dog or an answer?
to the dog.
Okay, so no, apparently not. So with that, let's kick off tonight's episode and get ourselves back to Nox Vitalia. So last time we were here, and it's been a while.
No. No. Go play with your ear.
Our daring party of adventurers had managed to slay themselves a hag and find a missing young girl dangling over a cook pot.
We got her down.
They did get her down with no actual problem, and most traps were disarmed, and things were done well. Who knows what you didn't find?
Uh-huh.
Or
I
did-
do believe our perception checks were not a nat 20.
And I might be bluffing. But- Anyway, you now find yourself at this hag's, I guess you could call it, encampment. You thought that you were going to find a hut where you could see the cauldron from up the path as you were entering the clearing. Instead, you see what looks like 3, and shelves and
No.
almost like connected, somewhat awninged shelters, but completely open-faced, around a central circle where the cauldron and the bonfire were when you are able to finally take a look.
So there was 2 other houses?
Well,
Or 3 other
it,
houses.
it looks like there are, it's all one technically connected shelter, but there are 3 separate doored rooms to it.
Okay.
And aside from the things you noticed immediately, like the skulls and the way everything wound around, you see countless toys, bits, bobs, rings, pieces of jewelry. At a glance, there's something that glitters, sparkles, or glows almost in every little hidey hole you could think of.
She's been kidnapping people for a long time.
Yeah, she has.
I suppose we should gather up anything that looks like it might be a personal or family heirloom and see if we can't track down the family members and give them some closure.
Yeah.
We also need to get her home.
That's absolutely true, but I think we can spare a few minutes to fill our pockets and explore the area.
As a hunter, I would know about hags, right? At least the dangers of wandering into a coven.
Let me think.
I'm aware of the danger.
I think
I'm
I'm
a
asking-
warden in this area.
I'm asking before I
Yeah.
speak in character.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, go ahead and make an intelligence check for me.
Can we
Okay.
help you?
Be intelligent. Please, Kalora, be intelligent.
You're not at
5.
consent.
That's a no. Please, Kalora, be intelligent. No.
Hey, you get down.
Well, big dumb bird.
Big dumb bird.
I am aware of the danger, but the hags are going to come for us one way or the other. And we can either fight them out here in the wilderness where they are less likely to harm other people, or we can lead them straight back to town. I agree with you, though, about the girl. Can you fly her all the way to Evermist?
If I can get washed off.
I blast you with the cantrip prestidigitation a couple different times
Whoosh!
to try
Whoosh!
to wash you off.
I'm a puffy bird.
Hey,
I'm
all
a poofy
you
bird.
can't go on your count. You were being too rambunctious.
Okay, so after about 5 minutes of prestidigitation spells, you were muck deep.
5 minutes of prestidigitation.
And after a while, you guys are just sitting here watched and amazed at how much mud was actually able to be caked onto this bird's feathers.
Hey, you.
Here's a question. Did any of the ash come out with it?
It would have been soggy anyway, so it would have been blended into the mud. You wouldn't have noticed if it was ash, would you?
Well, there's ash in my feathers that are
Do me a
That is-
favor, Jordan.
like a stain now.
I need you to do me a great big favor. I need you to go ahead and roll like a magic attack for me.
So, is that a 20 or a
Roll a d20 and use your magic attack bonus for your character.
plus 7, I believe?
Yeah.
Oh, I love this.
Okay,
so
yeah, we
much.
went over that earlier. 15 plus 7 is
22.
22?
Okay, about half of you, like most of everything except for the very darkest ashen stained points on your wings is now clean.
Impressive. Apparently all I needed was a mud bath. I look like a proper bird now. But yeah, I can fly her. Actually. Reach back and like pull down the latches in my vest where I had created that like almost saddle sitting for the smaller kids. Be like, can she somewhat strap in?
Okay, so that's up to you guys as to who's going to help with this endeavor.
I'm little teen.
Are
I'm
you
like,
going to strap an 8-year-old to the back of a bird and send them flying?
I'm like the 8-year-old size, so I'm not helping.
Yes.
Physical feats are like my strong suit, so I can do this.
Why not? I can help strap the
But you are in town currently.
Yeah.
That's the other thing is the easiest way to find her mother. And as that's going on, we're going to turn back to town for a moment while you quietly discuss the whole strapping in and all of that. And to Ronan, who was buried under paperwork as his new friends and Aspen seem to have disappeared. There's been rumor of a child among the refugees who's gone missing.
Would you
And-
pass that to Joe?
Knowing Aspen's... But what you would know of Aspen yourself, it comes to mind that she's probably somewhere about that trouble, trying to figure out what it is. And with a 12-year-old's curiosity at this point, which somewhat has you terrified, to be
Completely frank.
yeah. So I'm assuming that you who is strapping the child to Kalora?
I am.
Okay. What are you using?
Yeah, the overall style belts will hold a 4-year-old. She'll need support. At least until I get horizontal again.
And how much of the last time we were here did you manage to watch? Because I know you did tune in, because you
I'm
were in the chats.
using survival.
I watched most of it.
Cool, so you're pretty much caught up on what happened.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. That'll make a lot of explaining a lot easier. You're going to use what? I'm sorry?
Survival.
Okay, good call. What material are you using to...
I'm going to.
I'm sitting on the floor like this so she can get on and strapped easily.
Yeah. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to reach into my bag. I am going to take my leather cloak and a knife, and I'm going to shred my leather cloak into strips.
Nice.
Ouch.
And
But
then
I feel for the character on this one. Sorry, it's a thing.
and then I am going to fashion a harness with sinew and needle to go around her wings so that it's not choking her at the neck.
Nice. Something that's but not.
And I think they are both in a alternative folder at home and did not get put back because I wasn't expecting to come over here yesterday. I was gonna ask you to send me the PDF at the nearest opportunity.
I can do that when we take a break and you'll be okay for this. It's not
Okay.
a problem. Okay.
But yeah, I will fasten a harness and around Kalora and what was the little girl's name? What was your name, sweetheart?
Yasmin.
Yasmin. Okay,
And
so
I've got
yeah.
my wingspan out so that you can work around it.
And does anybody have the ability to magic these straps to make sure they stay in place in some way?
Is prestidigitation kind of like? Hang on, let me look
I
that
don't
up.
think so.
Nope, it will not do that.
It's not a. It's not. Doesn't have.
Mend
a
is something else.
Okay, thank you. It does have the make ability though. Create a temporary object of negligible bulk made of congealed magical substance. The object looks crude, artificial, and is fragile. It can be used as a tool, weapon, or a spell component.
This would count as a tool, and we couldn't use fragile.
Okay.
Also, the second that it's outside of range, the spell goes away.
Okay. Okay. That's why I
Okay.
asked. Other than that, no, I don't know anything.
So we have no way to magic the straps to make sure that they.
They
Yes,
just need to
but
hold
I-
long enough for me to get horizontal over the treetop.
Right. And as I strap the little girl on, I tell her to wrap her arms kind of around your neck.
Yep.
Now,
Right here,
yeah, now
around the
you-
clavicle.
Yeah, you hold on tight, sweetheart. You hold on tight.
She holds. You watch her knuckles turn white as she straps onto this. I get to go home.
You're going home right now.
And I don't need my hands to fly, so I'll hold yours.
That nice lady Anne is not that nice.
Well, thank you for letting us know.
She was gonna be back later, she said.
Is Anne from the village or the refugees? Have you ever seen her before?
I don't know. I don't remember.
That's
Did
fine.
she bring you out here?
Huh?
Did she bring you out here?
I don't remember.
Okay. We'll get you home to
Okay.
your mom.
Get her home as quick as you can.
Mhm.
Don't fly too high.
Nope, just over the treetop, and I string my snack pouch over my shoulder so it's within arm's reach when she's ready to let go.
I greatly apologize, but you need to make a strength check.
Don't apologize to me. That's my strong suit.
And we're gonna see how well this goes down.
Hey, it was a 20.
It
Okay,
wasn't
you nat 20.
I saw it.
So
For a
this is the
25.
most graceful takeoff you have ever seen out of Kalora. Like, she actually just almost pirouettes and stops and levels off perfectly, and you're like, really? But and
It wasn't a dexterity check.
it's as you would be able to fly in as quickly as you would be trying to go with a 20 for what I'm basing this off of for movement, so go for critical successes. In roughly about 45 minutes, you make your way to the encampment. And I need you to just make a flat wisdom check. Well, no, make a society check for me on this.
Society. That would be a dirty 20.
Oh, the dice like you tonight. Right on. So,
the 5 on that intelligence check.
compensation. Totally get it. So, you would know, based off of that the best way to find Yasmin's mother would be through Ronan.
Alright.
He's
Well,
he's the delegate basically for the refugees.
Well, then my eyes are peeled looking for Ronan. And I am squawking quite loudly, calling for you.
We'd say probably about 50 yards away from your tent. When you start hearing a loud squawking noise and a bunch of people and hear somebody, sir, you might want to see this.
I walk outside my tent or wherever I'm doing my paperwork at, and I look up and I'm like,
They're out in town, have an 8-year-old strapped to their back, and are on the ground, walking towards where everybody's kind of clearing a path to you.
and I just look at her and I'm like, what is this crazy bird doing now?
I get up. I'm like beelining. So I'd say, I found Yasmin. Where is her mother?
What was that?
I said, I found Yasmin. Where is her mother?
She is right over there.
Alright. Just kind of dump the kid off.
Make a dex check for me.
Oh! That would be
The phrase dump the kid is
the
why.
15.
That makes it. You meet it.
Like I said, that
So-
strength check wasn't a dex check.
Let's see if there was any way that...
Well, she
Oh
was
yeah,
kinda-
okay, to make matters even better, as you're unloading, you managed to put it down so she wouldn't have really bruised, but she would have hit the ground. But Yasmin tucks and rolls a little bit
Nice.
and comes up and just looks at you and goes, "Thank you, I think."
Let's get you to your mother. I'm sorry I couldn't let you down much more easily. You were kind of haberdash strapped to my back.
All right. So that being said,
I'm gonna get her to
you pointed off in the right direction. We're just going to call it yes, and for sake of story and not having to look for somebody.
Yep.
And now it's you and Ronan for a second.
I was gonna get her to her mom and then try to be back because need to.
Yeah, but how much are you telling him? The player knows.
Oh,
The player knows,
Derp.
character doesn't.
derp. Like a 30-second military debrief. Hags in woods kidnapping children.
Okay.
Big fight coming. Big fight coming.
So does that mean you're gonna need backup?
Please?
Well, I do
As
still
the meat
have some
flies.
poles, so. Alright, go let the others know that I'm gonna send out a few letters and do a few things, and hopefully we'll have some people.
Are you going to
join
stay
us.
there, or are you going to go with?
I was gonna stay there and send out some letters to some people that I know that I've met through my journeys.
Those letters would take days to arrive. You currently have 4 people out in the middle of the woods about to deal with hags.
But you are in the middle of a town filled with refugees who just survived a horrendous battle. So you're not without resources right where you are without letter writing, if that was your intention.
Yeah, I just want people that were more militaristically trained.
There
You
might be
actually
some people
are.
here in Evermist. I mean, some of the refugees are going to be military trained too.
So,
Yeah.
okay. I'll take care of it. Go back to the others.
Alright.
Nice.
Alright.
Gonna come in and save the day. I love it.
Taking as much damage as you'd like me to, I am going to fly buckshot through the wood, like the forest, to leave a definitive trail.
So you're gonna fly buckshot through the forest with your sword out, basically.
Yep. And I'm brushing myself up on things to leave feathers and scratches and a telltale path this bird went down.
Nice.
And so,
Or does it might
I
get
kind of. I know this is probably going to be an inspiration thing, but I go to the group of refugees and I say that for the sake of them and their children, I make an announcement. Excuse me, folks. We have an issue with some hags. For the sake of you and your children, we need the best military trained fighters that you have to follow me. The rest of you, shelter down and don't go anywhere. Don't come outside until we get back.
All I've got is my plumage.
And I have the people that follow me that have been trained. I don't know how many there are. I just know
Okay,
that there's a
first
decent-
of all, I need you to roll a perception check to see something.
Gotta love me, just crunching, bashing. Rubbing up on bushes and pricker bushes specifically so they'll catch feathers.
Where is my PDF?
I want there to be no question.
So perception. 44.
Oh, no, that's right. Sorry.
Plus 8.
I love doing stuff like that with this character. It's so much fun.
15.
15? That's what you rolled?
No. That's 7 plus 8 equals 15.
Okay, cool. That being the case, now go ahead and roll for diplomacy on this and we'll see what you get.
Diplomacy is a plus 10, so that's a little better.
Ooh.
Cool.
Whee!
18. 8 plus 10, 18.
But see, I think because you have your traits
I think it's-
backwards,
yeah.
it's just rolling down into it.
Yeah.
You get some one person that steps up is a bouncer type. Like, you recognize them as being a bouncer in some of the taverns you'd frequented back home and everything. But they had a family and things of that nature, so they made it on the boat. Also, the boats took everybody that could possibly be piled on each other when they left. At the Queen's behest, I might add. But other than that, you get a couple of looks like your typical peasant with pitchforks. There's people who look like they're a lot of talk and bravado, a couple of drunkards, a few of the guards actually from the city itself speak up. What do you mean, hag problem?
All I was told was that there's hags, a covenant of hags kidnapping children.
Wait, hold on a second.
Yasmin's right there. She seems Plenty
Pick up.
resourceful.
Yeah. She's already wandered off into the crowd and went and found her mother.
Perfect.
She knows where home is. So they look at you and say, well, how many missing, which missing child?
Yasmin, darling, can you come here for a second?
See if she's in earshot.
No. She's, okay, we're talking, I rolled a 9 and we're talking like 8-year-old attention span for authority figures
Gone.
when they haven't seen mom in 2 days. So she does not hear you, answer you. You could safely assume that she went and found her mother and is just crying her little heart out somewhere, feeling home and safe.
Aww.
So, what is her mother's name?
You really wouldn't know. You just recognized the child and knew what parent attached to it.
So, as I had mentioned the name before, this young girl Yasmin had been kidnapped, and the team that has been kind enough to welcome us to Evermist and take us in has rescued her, brought her home, and relayed the message that there have been more kidnappings in the past and there will be more in the future unless we do something. And they plan on doing something, but they can't do it alone. And unless you want your children to disappear, I suggest you come with me if you know how to fight and can actually not die. Because some of you will die. If you don't want to die, don't come.
God, you're the most I've ever met.
Like, I'm going to be blunt. Some of you are going to freaking die. And it's probably going to be you drunk assholes. So, I don't
You hear a
just-
couple of them, oh.
Really?
Why don't you get off from behind your desk and go do something about it, Governor?
Why do you think I'm asking you to come with me? I don't plan on dying tonight. Do
Yeah.
you?
Well, from what you just said, I'm one of them drunk assholes, so I should.
So you're probably gonna die tonight. Now, I am in charge here. I am serious. This is not for people that want to see how tough they are or want to prove how macho they are. These are for serious people that want to help out. And if not, that's fine. Stay here. Stay with your family. Do what you need to do. But don't do something that you might regret.
Come with me. Probably maybe die. But don't do something you'll regret.
First recruiter in all history.
There's
Oh
a,
my God, I love you, Chris.
there's a reason why I
Okay.
never joined.
So, he.
You used to be the head of the secret police, and now you're like, hey, look, you guys aren't going to want to join me on this super special
So-
mission. You're totally
Okay,
going to
guys.
die.
Honestly, all I can think of is third.
Okay, so he reacts to this, and you see quite a few people with this speech, like a good 75% of the crowd just kind of backs off and goes places. He looks at his bottle, looks at you, looks at his bottle, takes another swig out of it, spits at your shoes, goes wandering off to the tavern and said, I'm still going to do something I'm going to regret, but she's going to be cute. And goes into one of the nearest brothels.
Wow.
And as this is going on, of the people that are staying, you notice that there are some young men and a few young women, actually, who are staying behind, some of them with people arguing with them, others not so much. You're already gone.
Yep, I'm just listening as a player.
We'll
at this
call
point.
it a flat 10. on the damage for what you did to yourself in the process, but there's a very, very clearly marked
You
trail.
have to hit yourself a bunch of times to do 10 full damage. That's amazing. I did really well. I'm proud of me.
I hurt myself so much.
It is actually harder to hurt yourself than someone else.
But the deliberately running into trees and brush in order to leave a clearly discernible trail was brilliant.
Right?
Yeah, don't worry. You'll find a few bloody feathers here and there. And that chip's knocked off of your beak again.
Okay. And I mean, I was scratching every tree with my talons, like brushing into pricker bushes.
One of your talons also needs to grow back. It broke.
Okay. That's fine. The army I summoned is gonna find me.
So, as you're doing your recruiting,
Miserable job at it.
you actually hear a young couple arguing. Much to what you would expect from the way the words are coming out. It's her who's trying to go. And what you hear her saying is, what? You think I'm going to let you put a baby in me with hags running around out here in the woods? What the fuck are you thinking? You ain't got a pair big enough to go deal with it. I'll do it me damn self. She's holding what's very clearly like a hog slaughtering cleaver in her hand. I mean, that's a maybe 5'7" woman. Not really big, but obviously she was like a farmer's daughter type deal. So she's used to having to heft her weight. And you hear her flat out, and she's got that cleaver back. And she's just looking at this guy who's like pissed off and arguing with her to, no, you're going to stay here, woman. We just been married. You think I'm going to let my wife go out there and risk herself for someone else's kids and problems?
And I walk over, and I politely look at
He's
him and
gonna
say,
get cleaved.
I look at him and I say, yes, it's somebody else's kids and problems for now. What if we don't stop them and it does turn into your kids? And you could have stopped them and you didn't. How would you feel? What would you think? What would you do then? If you knew you had an opportunity to stop them long before you even had kids and then it happened to you? Put yourself in those parents' situation.
Nice.
Roll persuasion for me. With advantage.
I was gonna say, comparatively to the last speech, that was damn
No,
near
that was
heroic.
actually really good. So roll with advantage.
Okay, I'm rolling on the table.
Like,
so
that
they
was
don't go
almost
off.
heroic level.
Oh, that's good. That's fine.
Hello.
Ooh, with advantage?
Yes.
Yes.
So 2d20, take the highest.
And this is performance.
Diplomacy or persuasion, whichever, because
There's no persuasion, there's diplomacy or performance.
this one's a diplomacy. You're convincing someone.
18 plus 10 for 28.
It's a good thing you
Woohoo!
have to take the lowest.
Yeah, it's a good thing I didn't roll disadvantage because my disadvantage was in that one.
Okay. So you watch the fire and anger leave his eyes. His hand falls limp as she pulls away. He reaches down, a very, very defeated look on his face. Grabs his coin purse, empties out every last cent in it. Looks at her and says, "Give me your hand," and puts it in her hand. Says, "Well, at least get yourself some kind of armor."
Aww.
And I look at him and I say thank you, but keep your money. I will provide armor.
She takes the money before he can snatch it back and says, "The fuck he'll keep it. Fucking coward, I'll do it."
As long as the money is for you and your future family, I don't care. I will provide armor.
Nice.
There's money's for me at the pub afterward. Right?
And so I take everybody that is willing and able that's left, and I take them to the blacksmith and the.
I'll give you a fair shake on this. Roll a d8. Aside from her, because she stormed off, leaving him kind of just standing there.
Good girl.
I thought
That's
you'd
done.
appreciate a strong woman who was refusing to go into what her husband wanted.
Not only that she fully intends to drink those coppers away afterwards.
Oh,
That
he
is-
handed her about 6 gold, so yeah.
Yeah, that is my kind of bitch.
Oh yeah, she totally qualifies for the word right there.
So a D8.
Yep, roll a d8.
Ooh, 1.
Okay, so aside from her, you realize that the majority of everything else that you were managed to get were pretty much, these were people who were willing to do it because they were far too old to have children of their own anymore, and theirs were grown and gone. So a bunch of older people who you were really worried about taking a bunch of geriatrics to go fight hags regardless of their great revelries of youth. But you did find one lonely little goblin with a medallion of Baphomet around its neck.
No.
And he smiles up at you. And where you normally expect goblin stench, this is what you would notice about this particular goblin. His robes are white. Like, not stained white, but like clean white. Even with all your time in Goblin Lands, he's very clearly well put together. It's like, I can help go deal with the hag. I'll help you out all you need. People gonna get hurt, aren't they? The hag makes a big mess. All we gotta do is pay me. It all goes to me church. I keep half on anything over a gold. From the expenses and supplies.
How about this? You come and you be our healer and make sure we can survive somewhat. I'll give you a platinum.
Ooh.
Hold on. You watch as he actually, like, makes the symbol of his god, kneels, and a holy light glows behind his eyes as he sits there muttering and praying in a language that you don't comprehend.
You sure? Because I'm multilingual.
Yes. I'm very sure you do not speak this. And he, after a few moments, smiles at you and says, "My lord agrees that this may be a big enough problem to merit that payment. Please render payment ahead of time. I will accomplish your task."
Aw.
And if I'm right, isn't 10 gold equal to 1 platinum?
Yes, but you said specifically 1 platinum piece.
Yeah.
Yes. So I go to a market and I exchange out 10 gold for 1 platinum and I give it to him.
It takes you about an hour to find it, but you give it. It's like, hey, so do you know where this is?
Yes.
How do we get there?
You see the broken trail of feathers and blood and destruction?
Oh, I'll call some of the acolytes. They'll take care of that.
That's our path. That is how we get there. Follow that trail and you will find my crew. My my team.
It did
Right.
have breadcrumbs.
We can
to
do with
leave.
that. So, that being the case, it's the strangest thing. Because they are such smaller beings, this little. He looks so, where it's going, right? Pointing to yourself, him, and the woman having, like, the geriatric ward. He just kind of dismisses, I'm not cleaning that up.
Yeah, it's just the three of us. And I look at the elderly people and I say thank you for volunteering, but I don't know if you'll be much service to us at this point.
So the other people there,
Yes, there's 4 more people there waiting for us.
right. Oh, dearie me, how rude. I'm sorry, Lord. I should be better with me manners. I am only a lowly goblin now. My name is Brother Ishkabibble of the Church of the Divine Sewer.
Nice to meet you, Ishkabibble. My name is Ronan.
Ronan. You mean, like, the chap that was in the gnomish and was like, weren't you a, emissary to the Great Goblin Empire for them elves?
Yes.
Yeah. We never did much work around your particular suite. You didn't make much of a mess. It was nice, actually. We appreciate you. You'd be amazed at some of the things nobles leave in their suites when they leave after a diplomatic visit. It's all kinds of terrifying.
Oh, I bet.
This one time, I found a mimic that was masquerading around as a bag of devouring. The problem was it wasn't eating objects. It would eat whoever's hand went into the bag. A wizard was making them.
Oh, wow. I don't think you should hang out with that wizard.
Well, it was some time ago, but anyway, right here we go. And what was your name, miss? And she just kind of grumbles something that's inaudible as the GM. I didn't think of a name, and I don't have a rolling table in front of me right now. All right, we'll go with that. Penelope. She just kind of looks at Penelope. And you can call me Penny for short because, that's a mouthful, and P'll work as well. You know, anything that'll get my attention. Hey, you will work if we're in the middle of a fight. Anyway, so what's the fastest way there?
The fastest way there, I believe, is either horseback or foot.
I did my damnedest to carve a tunnel straight there.
Yeah, if this path is as straight as my...
Well, your path was
TV.
straight, and alright, so how fast are you guys going there?
What's the fastest they can travel not on horseback?
Well, it's about a 3-mile jaunt. The average human being can run
Walks a mile in 15 minutes.
about
The
45
goblin
minutes
might
out.
take 20 to walk a mile, so it'd be a couple of hours. However, on horseback, you'll make it in about a half hour, 45 minutes.
That's what I was thinking. We'll get some horses and...
Even at a trot. If you gallop
Yeah.
those horses, you're going to make it there in 20 to 30, I think.
That's
That's
a
a plus she knows
horse
now.
runs at 35 miles an hour.
What?
I said a horse runs at 35 miles an
Yeah,
hour.
but we're talking through dense forestation and marshland.
Yeah, so they wouldn't be at a full...
Yeah.
Yeah,
their
but
full
at
speed.
a nice trot, it should take 20 minutes to a half hour.
Yeah, it's by no means a well-beaten path. I mean, I did leave as many sticks and twigs and whatnot to step on in the soft bits as I could, but it is not a well-beaten path.
It is well marked, though. There be feathers.
Perfect.
So,
You can thank my
now,
chesty down
while
later.
all this is going on in town, and your party is assembled, and it's going to take you maybe about 45 minutes, we'll figure picking them out, choosing through everything, and when the things get really deep and mucky in some places.
Okay.
Horses weigh more than humans.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
they're also oddly more designed to get through that muck. So 6 and 1/2 a dozen. We go back to the other 3. About 10 minutes into this, you will return.
All right. Will they hear the clamoring?
Oh,
How would we miss it?
It's scale mail bouncing off of trees.
Rattle clank, crunch, bang, boom. I think we hear you coming.
Squawking every time a feather gets ripped out.
Yeah.
You've got a few bald spots by the time you get
That's fine. It'll come back. Next time I molt.
Well, so, what have the 3 of you been doing in the meantime? Because that whole interaction actually would have taken about 30 to 45 minutes to get it all together and pulled in to place, like everybody finding everybody and everything. So over the last 45 minutes, what have you been doing?
I'm looting the place. I'm trying to get magical components. I'm hoping to maybe steal a spell book. I want some random potions. Like straight up random potions. I don't care what they are. Just, oh, potion. Who knows? We'll see what they come out to be.
Oh no.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, I'm looting the place. Tools, if I could shove it in my pocket. If it's not bolted down, it's going in my pocket. And I want a skull.
All of the skulls seem to be affixed to the structure, by the way.
I will demolish a wall to get a skull if I have to.
I can hear it now. Weapon dagger at the ready.
So,
Yeah, this is the real reason we didn't hear you coming.
I was about to say, so, yeah, like, and Wisp, what are you doing as you're hearing bang, clang, clatter, clash, loot, pillage, loot, plunder? No, you're plundering.
I'm gonna be looking for anything that's magical, so I'm gonna be like searching, looking for magical items in specific, or anything out of the ordinary.
Anything out of the ordinary? You mean
Right.
other than the lighting all being rigged with permanently electrocuted and healed luminous sprites?
Really? I'm gonna collect some of those.
I'm not here yet. I'll take offense to that later.
I described it last week.
I
or
know.
Last time.
I mean,
No,
to be
collecting them.
fair, okay, to be fair, Wisp literally every chance he gets collects random odds and ends. So if there's a dead sprite, I'm going to collect.
No,
a dead
they're,
sprite.
they're
not
alive.
dead.
Oh,
They are perpetually kept flapping to keep the luminosity going.
yeah.
And when they start getting too deteriorated or they start falling asleep, they get zapped. When the zaps start hurting them too much, they have the cage automatically is enchanted to cast Cure Wounds on them. So they are stuck perpetually flapping. And
Okay,
being
I'm gonna
healed.
let them out. Like,
Like I said, that's why I said I'm gonna take offense to that later.
I thought that they were dead, so I
No,
was like,
this is
oh,
a
I'm gonna
hack-
collect some dead ones, you know?
No, they're quite alive.
Yeah, I'm gonna let them out.
They're like a perpetual motion generator.
That sounds
For
cool.
lights.
I'm gonna let them out.
They're hags. I had to have some horrifyingly what the hell type shit in the building.
But I'm gonna be throwing for magic items mainly.
Okay, so looking for magic items, Viridia, what are you doing?
I was specifically going to look to see trace evidence of the type of magics that these witches have been doing. I'm only interested in the herbs and the bundles of herbs, any kind of twisted wicker thing as far as that goes. The other thing that I am doing is looking for objects, anything that looks like it might be of a personal significance. Lockets, family signet rings, anything that might be sort of traceable back to a family.
Okay. So, all of this is going on at the exact same time.
Right.
Yes.
We are looting the bejesus out of this place.
Yes, each looking for specific things. Now, you're also letting a bunch of sprites out.
Yeah, and if there are any other living or caged animals or magical creatures, I'll be releasing them. But one of the things I definitely want to see is like does she have, twisted wicker cage? Is like how is her magic functioning? So I'm studying that while I'm doing this other stuff.
This
too.
is actually really strange. Parts of it look like the trees were warped into this shelter, and the way its awnings connecting 3 small huts into one greater structure. It's a much better way to describe that. And it at the same time, it looks like other parts are skins and pelts and hides. You're not sure exactly what some of them are or are not from. And you're really sketchy about trying to...
Do I sense or see anything
Figure out the type of
specifically
leather.
necromantic? Is there a high level of rot and fungus? What can I see from the left behinds, for example, in her cauldron and so forth? What types of magic she was using?
There are bundles of monkshood, pennyroyal, belladonna. There are sprigs of rosemary, thyme,
I'll be collecting as many of the herbs as I can.
odd files of weird viscous materials. Some of them look like they could be blood. Some of them glow.
Are they like in vials or jars?
Bottles and vials. Nothing bigger than a softball, really.
I would
I'll-
snacks for those.
I would also take some of those for testing. But I'm more interested in the dried herbs and any wicker shapes I find. Or anything else that looks like it's a talisman, amulet, anything she may have fashioned, poppets, dolls.
Alright, so in the process of everybody looking for things that are magical items and doing all of that, all 3 of you basically collide after about 45 minutes of looking around a very strange looking altar. There are bits of seashell and coral warped with pieces of wood and grown with stretched skins that make its structure. As if,
She was trying to make a golem.
no, it's an altar, like very clearly.
Mm-hmm.
And in the middle of it, there's a book bound in, well, quite honestly bound in sentient flesh.
Sentient flesh? Hey, little necromancer.
That's a making noise.
You, hold on a minute. You don't just go around grabbing hags.
Like, flesh from a sentient being is what I mean.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. You don't
Like,
just
you're
go
sure
around
it's either
grabbing
an elf
books without
or a
checking
human.
them out
Well,
first.
it's kind of patchworked, but you notice it's different shades of skin.
I cast as I smack her little hands away. I cast sense magic to see if there's a ward.
Okay, what's the range? Sense magic, what's the range on it?
I don't have it with me right now.
It's
I
something
think
like-
it's 30 feet, but I mean we're standing right here on next to it.
The book glows. The altar glows. The candlesticks on the altar glow at a different hue. The random numbers of bottles throughout the entire thing glow. The little cages glow. The cauldron lets off an almost miasmic vapor in your sight as the spell activates.
I think we need to destroy that cauldron. But I'm specifically now going to focus my attention on the book. Do I notice if it seems warded, and am I catching any danger off of that?
Well, as you focus, you notice that in the center of the book, along one of the seams where it looked like it had been patchworked together, there's a singular orange and yellow, almost cat's eye looking back at you.
Cast sense magic on the book, and you'll see what I'm talking about. This is why you've got to control.
Is
your
anybody else looking at this book
I
right
have
now?
the detect magic spell too.
Yeah, but is
Okay.
anybody else looking at this book
But
right
but my sense magic isn't
Yes.
going to work for you.
Well, I'm not
it
there
only
yet.
shows
No.
me.
Oh.
So you would
So-
have to cast it yourself in order to see all that.
now? Well, is anybody else actually looking at this book after she cast detect magic?
I'm looking over that way.
You can see the eye.
I'm definitely.
It's glowing.
Oh wait, everybody else can see it? I thought I was.
It actually opened in the book when you cast detect magic.
Okay.
Kind of contingency, you woke it up. It just watches you, and you watch as that slitted pupil narrows to almost non-existence, focusing, and it feels like it almost burns through you. Like, think Eye of Sauron.
This is an evil.
I'm going to cast Spectral Hand, which I create a semi-corporeal zombie hand out of the essence of that which it delivers a touch spell for me. So whenever I cast the spell in the range of a touch, the hand will crawl along the floor wherever to get to the item that I want it to touch, and it will crawl back to me. I can make it make attacks. I can make it do normal things.
Cool.
So I'm going to cast this corporeal hand. If he takes any damage and just gets destroyed, which the hand has my AC and saves, if he takes any damage, I'll take 1d6 in damage.
Okay.
So, bam, spectral hand. You get a little thing running across the,
Okay.
going up and like planting itself firmly on the book because I want to see what's going to happen to it if I touch it.
Oh my god, I don't even want to waste time on. Can I just firebolt this evil thing and be done with
I
it?
want it.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
It is a thing
Yes,
of
I do.
evil.
Yes,
It
I
is
do.
a.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
It is a thing of evil.
Let me know when
No,
I
it's
show
not.
up.
Yes, it is.
Same here.
Okay, so you'll arrive maybe about 20 minutes after. So as this argument is now going on while you all have been looting, and yes, they are arguing over whether or not they want this book. And neither of them hears, but you, Wisp, hear a large amount of metal clattering and squawking and the gnashing of talons into wood bark and crunching and breaking of sticks, and it's actually kind of hard for you to hear if your hearing wasn't so cute, because to be perfectly frank, they are quite at each other's throats over this book as to whether or not to destroy
I
it.
have thrown up my hands. I
And
give
I'm
up.
throwing a
There's no
12-year-old
sense
tantrum about
arguing with a child.
I'm throwing the biggest
Figure it out
12-year-old
your own
tantrum.
self. And I go.
Okay.
I turn my frustration. Well, I'm about to turn my frustration to that cauldron.
I will help you with that cauldron here in a second after I figure out what's up with this
I
book.
think that might take more than one of us.
So what are you doing as you hear that? And as you throw up your hands, you also would hear the clattering, breaking, loud, crunchy sound of Kalora flying through the...
I think Bird Brain's back.
Be nice. But you're not wrong.
And Kalora comes crashing through the
Sorry.
trees.
I'm gonna, like, is the door shut on this little hut that we're in?
Yeah, no, as soon as I get back to
kind
the
of.
clearing, I just
Yeah.
lay
This
down
will be out in
the
the
mud.
central area.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and open the door.
Yeah!
No, as soon as I broke the clearing, I laid down in the deepest, like, most dilute with water mud I could find to cool my very inflamed skin back down.
Oh yeah, you also.
I just laid down in the coldest looking place I could find. I don't think it'll be very big, but a cavalry's coming.
Alright, so the book is still sitting on the altar, last I heard.
With a semi-corporeal thing sitting on top of it.
Doesn't affect it.
Doesn't affect it. Doesn't do anything.
It just
Use the
kind
hand
you
to
watch,
pick it up if you have to. Viridia calls out in exasperation.
I motion to my little hand to pick it up for me, and I flip through the pages.
So it's going to try and open it?
Yeah.
Holy hell.
So, as your little corporeal hand goes to open it, it sprouts blades.
My hand or the book?
The book.
Okay.
The book sprouts blades and tries to flip over on the hand.
Okay.
And then
What's my damage?
reattach it. No, it misses. I rolled a 5, so it missed.
Thank God, because I don't have a high AC.
What's your AC?
17.
No, it barely missed, but it missed. And it stops and reattaches itself to this altar.
I'm not going to stop you, but I told you that is a thing of evil, and you're best off just burning it.
Hearing the bickering, I'm gonna get up out of the mud and could I get another prestidigitation?
Absent-mindedly, I just kind of flick my hand and call out prestidigitation.
This time, just a thin layer of mud.
Yeah.
And as soon as it's off, you can see that I am bald in several places.
Oh, you poor thing.
The only place I wasn't rubbing on things to leave feathers was my wings specifically.
Plucked chicken.
I carved a path. They'll be here fast.
I mean, it's better than barbecue pulled chicken. We had that earlier.
So good.
Oh, I need to remember that feat.
I do think, however, I'm a little worse for wear.
Yeah, if you all are bothering to look, definitely worse for wear.
I summoned Ronan and I left a trail that he couldn't mistake all the way through the trees to here.
And by the way, it is a very clear trail of feather and fluff and what the hell.
Missing talon, my beak's been broken off again.
Good, because we haven't even gone into those other 2 rooms, and I'm frightened to open the door, if truth be told. Also, would you mind telling... Aspen, right?
Yes.
Would you mind telling Aspen that hag books are not the same as a regular Book of Shadows, and they're evil as hell?
I'm still fucking with it, trying to figure out how to get it up.
Wisp, you saw the book turn to blades. What's your thoughts on that?
Is there a torch, like a torch on the wall?
No.
No?
All the lighting was provided by luminous sprites.
Is there a fire of any reasonable size?
Is there a fire under the cauldron?
That's about it, is the fire under the cauldron.
Alright. I'm gonna grab the nearest thing that looks like a sturdy stick. Even if I've got to break it, stick it in the fire, and I'm gonna walk up to that book and be like, "You're gonna fucking play nice." Hot coals and ash and fire.
And right about this time, you and your little goblin companion and the young woman who was apparently a newlywed from what you understand, and just not going to be tied down by no man whether she loves him or not, so to speak. And succeeding at it, I might add.
We stand independent.
You all come into seeing pretty much everybody watching as Kalura threatens a book with a stick.
In a very dark room because all the light has been released.
Well, no, there's light still. It's about twilight, and you do have at least the light off the campfire, and they're holding a stick. in an open area.
I'm taking advantage of the fact that my fear of fire has been kind of muted for the last little bit.
It's been about an hour and a half since you came up and back and were able to go in it. So it's roughly about 5 in the evening.
Not even wincing at the like flames licking at my hands, like, play fucking nice. I've had enough bullshit today.
What'd you guys do to the crazy bird?
I think we broke her.
No, the crazy bird is the only one making any sense where that book is concerned. Burn it already!
I have no idea
cast
what you're
Grim-
talking about because I'm just getting.
Open your pages.
I don't think it works that way.
Open your pages for the necromancer. Or that pretty leather binding of yours won't be pretty anymore.
Roll intimidation. Yes, that's right. They're intimidating a book.
I'm sitting there
That's
getting ready to cast
Well,
Grim
enough books have
Tendrils.
intimidated
That's
us over the years.
19
I think it's turned out
plus
fair play.
12
Goblins
is
win.
31. That's a 31. That's a 19
didn't
plus
know.
12.
So it opens.
I'm a scary bird.
You are a scary bird.
It actually flops itself open dead center.
And I peer inside of it, and I take my wand out of my pocket and poke it. Make sure it doesn't do anything to the wand, and then try to turn a page.
Nothing, and the pages look blank.
Blank, eh?
Well, if you're an empty book, then
Oh, it's
might as
not
well
empty.
just go in the... Yeah, no.
There's
If you're an
something-
empty book, you're no good. We can just throw you in the fire. I've picked up that this book can hear me.
Something like that.
Oh, it's definitely hiding a secret for me.
I'm gonna use anything else, like the butt end that's not on fire of the stick, to literally knock it into my backpack. It's currently empty. Because it was part of what was holding the child. I'm gonna hold the bitch over the fire.
Did you try to pick it up to do this?
Nope, I used the butt of the stick to knock it into the backpack. I'm pushing
That's
it.
what they said.
I'm not touching
Okay.
it. Going out of my way not to touch this thing.
So as you knock it,
I'm gonna torture a book.
I need you to go ahead and roll to hit with the stick first of all.
Alright. With this, let's see, all my strikes are
With that, as I'm
16 plus 13.
walking. 29.
29.
Oh, you hit it all right. By the way, what's your armor class?
21.
21, huh?
Mm-hmm.
And as I'm watching all this, I must remind the.
I don't mind taking damage.
Well, no. I think I need to roll a hit. I'm going to snatch. I'm so sorry, Kalora. I'm going to snatch the backpack out of Kalora's hand and drop the entire thing into the cauldron.
And I must
All
remind
right.
this group that yes, we are dealing with the Hag's book, but don't forget, you were just on trial
Really?
for war crimes.
Really? I meant it.
All right.
That's gonna be a contested
So
strength check.
first of all, she had to hit the book to dock it into the backpack. That got a reaction.
Yep.
How much damage did I take?
Oh, it's worse than that. You remember all those little spikes that went back to being like almost... Well, they come back up and this time fly off of the... Who's standing near the book?
Me, Kalora.
And I would be moving in towards it.
Okay. You're within... Who would be within 10 feet of the book in their mind's eye right now?
I'm attacking it. I'm in a bad mood.
Is the
I'm
doorway
literally
within
poking
10
it.
feet?
They're technically outside near the cauldron at an altar.
Okay, so
Which is why you can see all of this.
Yeah,
You,
I'm
by the way,
watching
Wisp,
this.
have found a very large stockpile of potions. You're not sure what they are, and none of them seem to be labeled, but they glow in a rainbow of colors. And a couple of them fizz.
Right.
So, since I can't convince them that torturing a book isn't the greatest thing to do,
I'm not torturing it. I'm
I
trying to
am.
kill it.
Oh, you're all going to need
want
help. The three of you need to make a dex check.
Wow. Okay.
My
Was it
intention
good?
is to torture this thing into compliance.
15.
Husband got a
Without
7.
my without my paper, I don't know what that is.
It'll work, actually, for this. So, what was yours?
My strength?
No, dex.
Dex.
Oh, dex. Okay. That comes up to a 17 plus 3 is dirty 20.
Okay.
I got a 7.
Okay. So,
Poor Aspen.
now, the good news is that... Oh. Aspen, you take a grand whopping 9 damage as blades go flying out of the bag once it does hit. It does knock it into the bag. Tiny little diamond-shaped blades go flying out in a 10-foot burst off of this book once it is encased in the bag.
so they hit the ground after 10 feet.
Everybody who made their save at a difficulty of 15 now takes half damage on 9, so 5.
Five.
5?
5.
Okay.
Damage.
And Aspen takes a full 9. And you have little shards of, you're not sure what the hell it is, but they dematerialize after about 3 seconds.
So can I roll to hit to snatch the bag out of Kalora's hand and drop it into the cauldron?
I'm a
Yeah,
believer.
that's a thievery thing. Or, yeah, we can go dex sleight of hand. So, yeah, you weren't trained in that.
I've got a
before.
pretty firm grip on it. I don't want to drop it.
Still, 17 plus, so it would be a 20 plus 3.
So I have to beat a 23.
No, D20 plus 3.
Alright, my dex is a plus 3.
You're gonna try and hold on to this?
Uh-huh.
Well, if they're trying to snatch it without you noticing, which is what's going on.
Are you trying to snatch it without me noticing it?
I
I'm
didn't
looking
care
at...
whether you noticed it or not.
Okay, because I'm looking at the bag.
I wasn't trying to be
Okay.
sneaky about it. I was trying to be forceful.
Okay.
15 total.
15 total? To be perfectly honest, after getting hit with that explosion, you kind of go, bah! And I gave it a solid 15.
I don't get a contested strength check?
You can try and hold on to it, but at the same time, keep in mind you're at a disadvantage because it just stabbed you repeatedly.
Okay.
You're trying to dodge blades at the same time.
Damn it, that comes up to a 12 for a disadvantage. You get the book.
I drop it into the cauldron.
What time is it?
Fire out.
Right now?
Coming up on 6.
6 o'clock.
Really?
Yep, 5:59.
Wow. Yep, it's 6 o'clock.
Okay. And as the book hits the cauldron,
I'm not honestly all that mad about it being killed. I was just
we're
mad at
going to go to
everyone
the bio
cooperating.
break and clear the table.
I knew something like this was coming.
Because somebody had to throw the book in the cauldron.
Cauldron.
I told you things would get interesting if I did that.
I was expecting hocus pocus, but
Something like that maybe. Who knows? But this ought to be entertaining. And now I get to go monster diving. This might be a little bit longer bio break / everything. Because there's some things I wasn't planning on them doing, and I have to figure out all of what that reaction is going to be.
So, I'd say what?
And this may become a behind the screen called When Your Players Catch You With Your Pants Down.
I think Liz needs to make one for the first time we ever broke the
High five.
Witchwood Gambit when we were at
So we'll be
Oh
back
my God. I know
ASAP.
I
Somebody
covered that
broke my
in
brain.
High five.
Did you?
I did. I did. I think I actually covered that in the first one.
Because that one was like, we
We've
broke
caught
your
the
game
GM with
within
his pants
hours.
down.
Yeah. Glen. I know.
And we are back, and crisis somewhat averted. The only catch is that. So, as the book goes falling into the miasma seeping cauldron with a very satisfying plop sploosh, you watch as Ishkabibble, our little cleric friend, looks back at Ronan, and Wisp, you would have a very clear line of sight on them, and with your vision you'd be great at this even in the twilight hours. As Ishkabibble reaches into his robes, pulls out a small object, and goes, "Oh, God." Now I understand why he said 1 platinum was enough. About this time, as he says, "Praise to old Toby for making the sewage of the universe so much easier to deal with." He, the contents of the cauldron start to swirl. Heat emanating from the outer edge as infernal runes start glowing around the outer rings of the cauldron as it sits there.
Everybody out!
Up!
You have to, as this is going on, you see 3 forms in almost a purple, spiky looking shadow shoot up out of a now bottomless cauldron. A blast of deep purple light and fog emanating with a sick scent of brimstone attached to it. A deep guttural, almost squawked. Set of what you would recognize vaguely as being words. Haven't anybody speak Infernal?
Let me check.
Hi.
Ronan, do
Yeah.
you speak Infernal?
I gotta double check.
Really? You do?
I was gonna say,
Common, draconic,
Have since the second fire.
Shadow tongue?
I gotta find where languages are on the page.
They should be somewhere up towards
Right.
the top, I
They're
believe.
down at the bottom.
they're down underneath your skills.
If you have not put it in there, I will give you a 50-50 chance.
And what'd you say? What language?
Infernal.
That's one that I don't. I got Abysmal, Celestial, Common, Draconic, Elven, and Sylvan.
It sounds almost
Why?
like abysmal, but
What?
something's
What?
off and it doesn't
What?
quite make sense as words. It's like they mispronounced it to the point where it was unintelligible.
So it's like
Why are
I'm
your balls
close.
soaked?
So could I do like that roll and give me a 50% chance of understanding it?
Nope.
No?
No, that would be like being
50%
in
is if
county
you don't have
clerk and
languages
hearing
in on
somebody
that
talk
character
from
sheet
county
since they're
clerk.
gonna switch back.
Your puppy's paws are so
Say what?
sad.
So that'd be like living in County Cork all your life and hearing somebody talk
She's
who's from
probably
the
out
like
Lorraine.
northern end of County Clary.
No, I speak Dwarven, Sylvan, and Undercommon.
Okay, so Wisp, do you speak Infernal?
No. I speak common, catfolk, and Samsarin.
You need to calm down. I will put you back.
Okay, so are you going to
Only-
translate this so that I can say it out loud, or?
Yes. Go for it.
Okay, cool. If not, then I was
Out
just
the
gonna
bird's
whisper.
mouth.
Out the bird's mouth, you hear it being uttered as you hear these things squawking and making those strange vocal sounds. Something to the tune of, "Oh look, they summoned us to dinner again. Wonder what's on the menu tonight," and they are hovering around and seem to be trying to assess the situation. They haven't quite, because of the summoning and the blindness of coming out of it. They don't get an action. But that being said, and everything being where it is, I need everyone
I'm being attacked.
to roll initiative.
Okay, hold on. And then I'm gonna put her back where she belongs because she won't stop.
To fail.
11.
Hold on to the number in your head. I'll ask you in a second.
Okay.
I've got to roll.
This is initiative. It's just a straight 11.
Yeah.
Come on.
So,
La, 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 la.
top right hand corner of the PDF sheet. Somewhere in there. Okay, so I've got.
Well, I'm not finding initiative.
Initiative is just a straight roll.
Straight roll plus your dex modifier.
Oh, okay.
Oh, plus
so
dex?
9 plus 3 is 12.
12.
Was it Dex plus? Okay.
Plus your dex modifier.
Yeah.
So mine would be 11 plus 3, 14.
14.
17.
17. Well, okay, everybody got their number?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so 15 to 20? Over 20?
23.
Okay, so 10 to 15, because nobody said anything about 15 to 20.
I did. I raised my hand.
You're 10 to 15?
I'm
No,
17.
No.
He's
17.
15 to 20.
15 to 20.
15 to 20 is Wisp. Got it.
Yeah, 17.
That actually makes sense because you're not right in the middle of the oh fuck. For lack of a better term for it. Next we have 10 to 15s.
14, 12.
Okay, so definitely there. And so that goes to. And then I need you to roll again.
All of us?
Against no, just Liz against me because I rolled the same.
16 plus 3 is going to be
19.
19.
I rolled a 7. Just to be fair, clear. Ish is.
And Aspen is last.
Maybe. Yeah.
Or is, well, Aspen's the only one you haven't called yet. What was yours?
This is going to be odd because it's going to be. Them.
2 with your dex?
I have a dex of 1 and then I rolled a 1.
Oof.
Okay, so this is going to go Kalora, Wisp, Ronan, Viridia, the demons, all 3 of them. I rolled them as a group just because it go faster. Ishkabibble, then Penelope. She wasn't expecting this when she left, and all she has is a cleaver and armor. And then Aspen bringing up the rear.
It's okay. Ronan, all Ronan has is 2 daggers and a hand crossbow.
Yeah.
I don't know how much of Viridia's equipment made it onto this sheet, but I will. Oh, it looks like it's
Correction, 3 daggers and a hand crossbow. Because I picked one up.
Fair.
Huh?
So, would Ronan have the
Curious. Do any of you have planar lore or anything that would give you lore of the 9 hells?
Oh, I don't think so.
That's city lore.
Nope.
I have legal and illustration.
I have
No.
necromancy lore.
Not quite what we're looking for.
What lore do you have?
Tanner.
Are they corporeal?
Oh, they're corporeal.
Excellent.
I've got tanning and arcana.
Don't worry, I don't have to worry too bad about them. They're allowed to be corporeal.
We all have working. It's just the lore.
Yeah, lore, I've got tanning.
Yeah.
No, you did something that I wasn't expecting. I was expecting this to go off in the city.
I have a question. Does Ronan have his wrist dagger that he's had with him since he was before he
Yes.
disbanded with the queen that he's had years of proficiency with?
Yes, it counts as a normal dagger, but yes, you have that.
I
So.
think that's where one of my daggers comes in.
Yes,
But I'd have a proficiency bonus with it.
correct. No. Where's my dice right now? Be smart.
Smart hippies. Smart hippies.
Yeah, I guess technically we are a bunch of smart hippies.
Smart hippies have such fun.
Don't. Alright, so,
Hippies play.
yes, Aspen will be bringing up the rear with her magic. This should be entertaining.
Is this gonna be-
So, that being said, and kicking everything off, Kalora, as you see these three fiendish creatures go flying up out of this cauldron in a spiraling pattern, dancing around each other, conversing, and you hear them talking about what's for dinner. And as they look over everything, expecting the meal to have technically been dangling right above the cauldron, it's your go to start. You are literally, well, first of all, you are right there. What you gonna do?
What you gonna
How
do?
far above me are they?
They are roughly 8 feet off of a 3 foot tall cloud. They're about 11 feet in the air. They're not that far off the ground. They were not expecting to have to work for it.
Okay. And you said they're currently blinded?
No, they are aware of their situation and everything. They're not at any kind of a disadvantage, flat-footed or anything like that. They're just, you're faster on the gun than them. You have your foot on the gas pedal a split second faster.
Well, we sort of have thought the cauldron might blow up, so.
It didn't blow up. Well, it did go upward with what exploded out of it. Guess that counts, right?
Did it break?
Okay,
Did it break?
so that's me right there.
Yes, you're the pink one.
I'm going.
And they are roughly arranged about like that in a trine around the cauldron itself, above it, maybe 6 inches from the rim. So if they landed, it would be on solid ground.
Okay. I am. Now that my whip is barbed,
Yeah.
I am going to try to use it to grapple and yank. And
Okay.
I'm taking wing to get close enough.
All right. So.
I have 30 feet of wing movement.
Yep. So you're actually by just going up
I
5
just
feet.
want that one.
Yeah, we'll talk 5 feet up, and because of the reach on a whip, you're good. You don't have to get closer. It's got a 10-foot reach, and you're 5 feet
Okay.
away. It is in the 10-foot. It is the 10-foot square.
Okay. And I am like curve whipping, trying to get around it a little, latch in with the barb, and yank.
Okay. So first of all, roll to hit.
Yep.
And is that going to count as like piercing damage or slashing?
That is. Where are you?
I think it's slashing.
Yeah, that is piercing.
Piercing makes sense, right?
Yes. I think. Nope, it's slashing. Never mind. The whip is slashing, whether it's barbed or not. Natural 20 plus 13 for 33 to hit.
Ooh,
That
delight.
hits.
And then I'm gonna stop flying.
Okay.
In
it
caloric
hits.
glory. I'm closing my wings and falling.
Well, it does get a contested strength roll through. What's the difficulty on the grapple check for your whip? Because you'll hit regardless and it will damage, but whether or not it actually pulled the maneuver you were aiming for is a different story.
That looks like. What would that be?
Contested strength.
Okay. 16, 21?
Yep, you definitely won, so you are definitely grappled and using the rest of your movement to drop. It jerks a little and you watch as it slashes into the side. Go ahead and roll for damage.
Alright. That's not gonna be a whole hell of a
And
lot.
don't double your dice. Just give me the flat number.
Alright. 5. Plus 5 would be 10.
Alright, and that would be to number 2, so that's there. That whip cuts deep into its side. And you watch as blood starts pouring out of it, and you know you hit that thing hella solid. It should, even to your perception, that should have hurt more.
Yeah.
And it seems to have locked onto you as an individual at that point.
Okay, I'm still closing my wings and going dead weight.
Okay. You're not going to pull it down really because of the length of the whip.
No, but I am heavy enough to make it encumbered.
I'll have to trust move.
I've been a mace once before.
This doesn't have that bonus though. Alright, so that being what it is, and do you have any other actions? No, because you used the grapple and
I would say if after a moment it isn't falling with me, I am trying to give a little push with my wings. Because that would be back down the rest of my movement if I could pull it to the ground.
okay, so you're going to try and pull it to the ground.
Yep, giving force with my wings.
That's another strength check, and that would be your second attack. Won't do more damage, but
Another 21 to hit? Or 21?
yeah, that just it jerks it, and you manage to get it to where its tail touches the ground.
So I'm
It keeps itself somewhat aloft, though. It just moves forward with it, preferring to obviously be in the air.
alright, so I've used my movement and my 2 actions, and
That's
raise a shield is not a free action, so we're good.
all right. Cool, and that brings us to you, Wisp. Way back here in the hut. Oh, and that needs to go too.
Could you pass it to Wisp?
This way, you don't have to stretch and hunch yourself over either, and we have a talking stick.
Since I'm right here, I'm gonna go ahead and how far away is this?
Let's see, 5, 10, 15, about 20 feet out of your 30 feet of movement.
Alright, so I'm gonna take and move closer to this character.
Okay, so you're gonna try and get right back up against, or like about here?
No, a little bit closer. I'm gonna try and get within range of the current creature that they're attacking.
With what?
You mean with what?
What are you trying to hit it with?
I was gonna try and hit it with, the first thing I wanted to do as my first action is I wanted to cast toughness on myself.
Okay, that's a bonus action type movement, so that's no problem. Go for it.
Alright, and then from casting toughness, I wanted to take and use, Ray of Frost.
Ooh.
Ray of Frost has a range of like 30 feet.
120, but
I'm
yeah.
gonna be an ice cube
120.
birdie.
Yeah, it's 120 feet in a straight line,
Yeah.
and anything in that line has to make a dex save.
Okay.
And so, to be perfectly honest, you don't even have to get close to be in range. You could have stayed right where you were and got him.
Alright, instead of using Ray of Frosted, I'll use Phase Bolt. Because it's more of like a direct hit with 30. Like a
I am
30
attached to it.
Yeah, but there's the length of the whip's the difference, and he is still
And a
hovering,
phase bolt
whereas
doesn't
you're fully
AoE.
on the ground. I mean, as long as it's got
Okay,
a direct line of sight,
and
it's fine.
so, let's see here. What does that one do?
I don't know right offhand. It attacks one target that's been seen. It does 2d4 damage plus 6.
2d4
Or
plus
2d4 plus my spell attack roll, sorry.
That's mine.
Which is 8.
2d4 plus 8.
Yeah.
Okay, so roll to hit.
Yeah.
Hey, hold this for me, please.
Oh.
Thank you.
Evil monkey. I know why he hears no evil. And that's one of those ones that just happens. They don't get a save on Facebook. Yeah, it's just against the armor class, so.
Yeah.
So what was the roll?
With everything added, I got a 22.
That hits. So, what kind of damage does it do?
2d4.
No, is it like lightning damage, magical damage?
I want to say it's magical.
This says you deal 1d4 piercing damage plus your spellcasting ability modifier.
What?
Okay, so it's.
That's different from what it says on the PDFs.
Okay, and okay, that does do full damage.
Are you looking at,
I looked up Phase Bolt for. That might be a different game. No, it says
No?
Pathfinder
Yeah.
2nd Edition database. Make a ranged spell attack roll against your target's AC. If the target has any circumstance bonuses to AC, reduce the bonus by 2 for this attack. On a success, you deal 1d4 piercing damage plus your spell casting ability modifier.
alright, so 1d4.
And then are you heightened by it?
No.
Because it says if he's heightened, the bolt's damage increases by 1d4, which would be 2.
Is it a cantrip?
Yeah, it's a cantrip.
Then yes, you are. It's a 2d4.
So yeah, you
I
are right.
got 4 plus.
So roll it again.
Alright, so
4 plus 3 is 7. 7 plus whatever.
7
7
plus.
plus 8, 15. My spell attack roll is 15.
Yeah.
Okay,
Right.
7 plus 8 is 15. Well, but this thing is looking rough as your spell tears into it, goes like over your shoulder, slams into it right around this area, and you watch as spines and
Which
some
one?
sort of.
Show me.
This one right here.
Okay.
The one that you guys were attacking.
I don't have the laser pointer, Chris.
I do.
But
The one
which
I'm
makes sense.
currently holding down with my whip.
This one right here, Liz.
Yep. Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
It's missing part of its lower jaw. Some sort of magical energy hit it, and it just tore a piece off of it. And you watch this launch from Wisp behind everybody. It's the guy who doesn't really say much, keeps to himself. But it's still up, but it is definitely looking rough. And Ronan, now we are on you.
Talking stick.
You are here.
Here's the question: is it still fixated on me?
Yes, because you're both in its line of sight in a direct line, so it can focus on both of you at once.
Okay. How close am I? Like, what's the distance?
Let's see, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
30.
Yeah.
So I can move 25 feet, but then I can get close enough. But then that would be all my movement, all my turn.
That's all your movement, but you still have action and bonus action.
Okay, so I'm gonna move the 25 feet closer.
That's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 would put you about here.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then I pull out my hand crossbow and I'm just gonna shoot the one that has the most damage done to it. I'm gonna aim for like the neck or like the chest area.
The one that we've been attacking.
Yeah. Just try to
You're
get rid of it.
still a rogue, right?
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead and roll to hit. With advantage, you're definitely flanking.
And that's 2d20, right?
I don't need to use an action to clench my legs to try to anchor myself.
With advantage, nat 20.
Go ahead and roll for damage. Actually, I'm just going to put this out there. Don't even bother to roll for damage because that plus your sneak attack bonus, there's no way in hell, even if you rolled minimum damage, that thing's going to
So I believe
survive.
the next thing is.
Yeah, my
There are
damage
2
is,
left.
I think my damage is 1d6 plus 9, so whatever I
There's
get
2
on.
left.
So yeah, even if I got a 1 on my 1d6
Yeah.
plus 9, it'd be a 10 damage minimum.
Yes.
And I probably, since it stops pulling back, I probably
So
need to roll
it's
a hex save to see
Viridia's
if I hit
turn?
my ass.
Actually,
Or does
yes,
it-
it is Viridia's turn. But so as the bolt flies from his hand crossbow, and you see this basically from what all of you know, kind of like a noble-y type. One of them people, you know, kind of like you would have expected. He seemed more like a dignitary than anything else to you guys. You watch him come running up with a strangely dressed goblin and what looks like a housewife in armor with a very large cleaver. And as he's charging forward, he pulls out this hand crossbow. The bolt goes straight in, and you watch as it pierces through the throat and severs the thing's spine. The head just kind of lobs. I mean, it falls back into. It seems like it dissipates into this weird miasmic mist and vanishes, leaving some odd things behind it in its wake.
Damn it, I wanted to eat it.
You're gonna eat the
Infernal.
demon thing coming out of the cauldron.
Demon
Yeah.
flesh ain't that bad.
Yeah.
If you can get it to stick around.
Besides, I didn't have to cut its head off. Its head already fell off.
No, his head just fell over
Yeah,
because I
and,
just
and
killed
then it
it.
turned into fucking piss mist. I mean, mist.
Do I have enough time to get some of its blood into the empty vial from the healing potion that I'd used last game?
The battle will be finished, and then you can get all the ingredients you want.
Yeah, not all of them are going to dissolve. He just hit a really, really key point. Okay, so Viridia, that leaves one technically there
right
with the
next
red.
to me.
Yep, and one there.
So, I'm not sure if I read that right, but it looked like
Ghost
it took 2 actions to cast Shillelagh. However, since my staff is my most ready weapon,
It takes
and
a full round action to cast Shillelagh.
No, the one closest to
Yep.
us rolled down.
So it would take all 3 of your actions, I believe.
Yeah.
To cast it and swing it.
Yes.
I'll let you have one on the swing as a bonus action for that, 'cause
My-
that seems fair.
My idea was, since he's so freaking close to me, cast Shillelagh on my staff, which is my most ready weapon anyway, and kind of sort of like wait for him to take his swing because he's clearly coming right up on me anyway. As soon as he does, fucking.
So
knock
you're
him
gonna
his
hold
heart.
until he attacks you, and then and then try to preemptively swing.
Yes.
Okay, so we're gonna hold that action, and don't worry, you're not gonna hold it that long.
I didn't figure.
Not the first one to go. So actually, believe it or not, in the initiative order, the way that I figured on those 3 guys, this one goes first. and he saw where the bolt came from.
Uh-oh.
So he's coming at you. Well, actually, this is the interesting thing. It's going to go up. So staying right where it is here. It's going to move itself up, say about 10 feet higher and over 1 square. So it's still about 20 feet from you because it's 5 feet this way by 15 feet that way.
Mm-hmm.
And it is going, while still there, having seen what you did, it is going to attack twice. Once to you, and then we'll see about the other one.
Okay.
So what's your AC?
21.
Misses with the first one, and misses with the second one, and that guy's going to jail.
I was gonna say, because even if you didn't. If
No,
you
it rolled a 2 twice. It's
Yeah.
going to jail.
No, I was gonna say, even if you did all that and you did try to hit me, I was gonna try to see if I could use nimble dodge, which is a feat, first level feat, to dodge while he's attacking me, so I could get out of the way.
You could try. It would have added a +2 to your armor class, but it wouldn't have mattered. I rolled a 2 twice in a row. So these 2 spikes come flying off of this thing's tail, and they hit the ground with kind of a fiery sound to them, almost like they're burning the ground where they hit in a sizzling crack. Yes, thank you. No, you're nothing
Fantastic.
to apologize for. I meant it. Thank you. And it curses something in Infernal that you would recognize to be fucking scrawny lunch meat, and you notice that there are 2 kind of singed holes in your cloak. You didn't get hurt. Your armor did its job, but your shit's burnt now.
This is getting fun.
Claw really is built for fighting things, not for braining
And
things.
that brings us to the one closest to you, Miss Viridia, which, as you predicted, go ahead and make your attack on it as it hauls back to attack you. It is still technically up, but there is a reasonable degree of range on its stat.
No, that's fine. Thank you.
It runs off your magic attack bonus because you shillelied it.
Yes, my spell attack bonus is a +10. 21.
Hits. Roll for damage.
That's the. Oh god. Okay. Yeah.
That rain?
Yes.
Yes. More
I
rain.
was like, what the fuck is that? Welcome,
And-
Morgan.
Also, as a hard, cold, icy rain starts falling across the battlefield as this starts.
Oh, it says that it does more damage, but it doesn't tell me how much more damage on the PDF. What nonsense. Okay, well, I'll roll on my staff.
I believe it's a 1d8 or something.
Okay. So, let's see, I've got a 1d4 plus 1, and you said a 1d8?
Yeah.
Okay.
And here's the grand part to using your shillelagh this way. It runs off your magic attack bonus, not your strength or your dexterity, for the next minute or 10 or whatever it is. I think it's a minute.
I think it is a minute. Okay, so, well, this didn't go as planned. But,
3.
take 3 points of damage to it.
So, it's magical though, so you did your full 3 points of damage. As it rears back to attack you, you swing and it tries to dodge out of the way, and you catch it right in the cheek with the tip of your staff, and you watch as it sparks a little bit from the collision. The magical energy just making it crackle against this infernal skin, especially the more natural magics that you use. And it just kind of looks at you, having not really planned on giving a shit about somebody swinging a stick at it. And it is definitely, if you didn't have its attention before and it thought somebody else was a bigger threat, you have it now.
Yeah, okay.
And it's going to... As it comes back, it pulls back like a pitchfork and thrusts at you, charging in for its first attack. So 20 to hit.
Oof. Oh, hold on. That may or may not. Oh. Oh my god, my AC is 20.
Meter beat.
Just barely.
Just barely.
Hey, you're almost as hard to hit as.
And as it strikes in, you take 3 damage from the piercing blow, and it pulls itself along its spear as it thrusts in, catching you right in the side with the outer tine, just enough to make it and rip a little bit, maybe like a quarter-inch, half-inch deep cut. It
Ow.
bites at you.
Do I have a bonus action?
You do. No, your bonus action was your attack because you used your full action to cast Shillelagh.
Got it.
You held
Yep.
your bonus action to ready
Yep.
yourself to attack at the opportune moment.
Okay.
And as it's coming in with that, your staff colliding with its jaw, it catches you with its fork and leans in, biting at you.
Oh.
For 10 to hit? No. You said 20 was your limit, so
Right, yeah,
no.
20 is my
It
AC.
bites, just miss it, and you move your face to the side as these long teeth and thin, narrow white eyes. The thing looks like that.
They're fine.
Oh, gross.
There are 2 of them still here, and bits of one because that was actually just a really brutal hit on it. That's something fucked up. You hit basically the magic center on its brain and it went pop.
I love it.
That's at least what I'm going with. It bites at you and you hear it snarl, its spines brushing against your ears, and
Ugh.
you can hear them clacking against your antlers.
Oh, oh.
It's hissing, it almost a whisper as its teeth bite shut next to your neck.
I kind of cry out.
And that ends their turn and brings us to Ishkabibble,
Ishkabibble!
our happy little cleric. Now, Ishkabibble,
Played by the Jenny D dice.
okay, so we're fans. And, just gonna own that. So Ishkabibble takes a really good look at Kalora, because you still have it healed from coming through the woods. And he's gonna walk out. He's actually going to get within about 30 feet of you. So right about here.
Alright.
And you're gonna gain 6 hit points as he casts Healing Word.
Yay!
It's like, one less mess for later is all you hear as he does this.
At least I have demonstrated that I'm capable of handling myself in a fight.
True. And other than that, he's going to use his bonus action. Looking at Aspen and recognizing the child and knowing what you are, he's going to cast guidance on you as a bonus action.
Oh,
So,
the cleric.
yes, Ishkabibble is casting guidance on you as a bonus action for
For a
your
minute,
next
my brain
attack.
was. For a minute, my brain was picturing the
excellent.
demons doing that.
So it's my turn then?
Actually, it goes to Penelope.
I thought
Yeah.
the same thing. Don't feel bad.
You thought what?
The same thing that I was thinking.
I was, for a minute there, I was picturing the demons being like, "Ooh, I know you."
Possibly, they might have noticed by now. I haven't rolled for
That's
that
very
yet.
much in
Right.
character for Kalora.
But yes, this little guy, you notice a goblin runs up and heals you.
Yay.
And then Penelope, dear sweet Penelope, is only actually able to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. She can make it to right there. Because she only has movement and a giant cleaver and armor. And that brings us to Aspen.
Okay,
They're here because somebody tried to conscript them. Only one is really functional. Yeah, there's like a level 1.
Alright, I am going to do my signature spell.
Bone shaker?
Yup. So, to the nearest one to me and Meridia.
Where's the?
The one that's got me pinned with his
Here.
little pitchfork?
Sorry.
Yes. So, I'm going to target this dude, I presume.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, I'm going to target him. And, with bend the bones and twist the back, and I'm going to actually use all 3, my verbal, my semantic, and my material, for this one, where it allows me to actually gain control of his skeleton like a marionette puppet.
What's the resistance on this?
What is his resistance?
Yeah, what's the save on it?
Fortitude save.
Difficulty? What's your
My fortitude.
spell save difficulty?
No, your spell DC.
My spell DC?
Next
Yeah.
page. Next
Right
page.
under spell attack roll,
Next page.
I think. Am I saying that right?
Yeah, 17 is my spell DC.
Mine's better than yours.
Because when I revamped Aspen to Pathfinder, it fucked me.
Oh.
As much as the system is actually a very intricately
I
detailed
rolled a
system.
17 twice. So as you go to take control of this thing, it gets advantage.
Wait, let me see your feet. Let me see your feet.
And it
Come on. She might have something.
Well, yeah.
I was there for the rebuilding of Aspen. Oh, fuck, you don't have it. Okay, no. We talked about the one feat that would give you a bonus to your spell difficulty.
Oh yeah,
And
we
you
did
didn't
talk
take
about
it.
that. I totally.
it would have
spaced
also
on it.
got it. I rolled a 17, so I met it with my roll twice.
Yep.
But it
Yeah.
would have given her a bonus to her
Would've
seven.
given
Apparently, my dragon die gets scared when I throw a die in jail.
Oh, apparently.
Now, there's a third level class feat that gives you the ability to, if you get a success on your attack, it becomes a critical success.
Okay, so it did save.
Okay.
What happens?
On a save, hang on, I have to go back into the spells now because I was actually going through my feats too when they mentioned that.
Yeah, but like seriously, what happens if I save? Because that matters.
Would that be a critical save or just a regular save?
Regular save.
Regular save.
Okay. Let's see. The target takes half damage, and if I cast a 3 action, which is what I did, I can move you up to 5 feet, and I can choose to fall or prone to avoid moving. Or you could choose to fall or avoid or be prone to moving.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm gonna wrench the skeleton and launch him 5 feet.
And if you go,
How much? Okay, roll for damage.
I love it.
17. Plus
17 damage.
Oh, I rolled a 20. Sorry, I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. Oh shit. Okay, hang on. 3d8.
Wait, hold on. What? You rolled 1 die, 17 damage?
Yeah,
Excuse
right.
me?
Rolled a 20.
Yeah, I rolled a 20.
isn't your it's like 2d8, isn't it?
It's 3d8 actually.
3d8 plus their spell attack plus. Or.
Plus their fuckery most foul.
4, 5 plus 7.
5 plus 7?
Yeah.
Well,
So 12 damage?
Yeah.
So you wrench it and you watch and hear snapping, a horn breaks, an arm wrenches. It manages to pull away to a degree, and you thought you had it good, but it slips your grasp and only moves about 5 feet instead of basically being flung into the wall. And is now.
I could
Which
see
direction
that.
did you
Just
move
being
it 5
happy
feet?
it moved.
yeah.
Where did you move it to? It moves 1 square.
So
Put it in
the cauldron.
Put it in the cauldron.
yeah, that's actually a good idea. I'm gonna wrench it to the cauldron. Throw it back
Okay,
into the fucking.
It's still in the air because it chose to stay airborne. So
Well,
it's not.
It either chooses to fall or prone and mobile.
If it wants to be immobile, it has to be fall or prone, and it chose not to.
So that's why you were able to move it 5 feet.
Oh.
And how much damage did it take? 12?
Yeah.
So RL statement, all I can think of is Ghostbusters. It's just chilling over top of the cauldron all my ass, maybe it makes me think of Ghostbusters.
32. And that brings us back up to the top 2, Kalora.
Alright. This big boy that Aspen has
Yeeted into the cauldron.
yeeted to just above the cauldron.
That's accurate.
We said that cauldron's bottomless, right?
Well, as far as you can tell, it looks bottomless, but it seems like there are fumes and brimstone scent coming out of it in kind of like yellowish, greenish fog with an odd purplish miasma floating above it.
Alright, I am going to make another whip attack because I'm right up on it. I'm gonna make a whip attack to grapple it just the same as I did the other one, and just anchor because I'm already on the ground.
Okay, so you're going to swing it to hit it with your whip?
Yep. So the natural 19,
That hits.
which would okay,
Nice.
which would be a 32.
Yeah, it hits.
And so then 1d6 for 4 points plus 5, 9 points of damage.
Halved, so 5.
Woot woot. And then I'd need a strength check to grapple, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Contested. And I just
Actually,
have-
no, I'm using the wild note dice. 19 plus 5 is a 24.
Okay, so you managed to have it. It is now considered grappled, and that should be your things.
Yes.
And that brings us around to Wisp.
Wait. I can use my last action because I didn't move. I
Yeah.
just attacked and grappled. I'm going to use my last action to use Intimidating Glare to attempt to demoralize it by glaring at it.
Okay.
That would be an Intimidation versus Wisdom, and that's a nat 20.
For a total of.
For a total of 32. Conditions.
So, as you whip onto it and you glare, it is shaking and it gives a disadvantage. I know what that one does.
Okay, cool. Because
It gives a disadvantage and it's less apt to attack you unless it has no other choice. So it doesn't want to hit you anymore. And this brings us to Wisp.
How many we got left? Just a one?
Two.
Two?
You got-
One over the cauldron and one that you would have to hit the
Who's
one
got
over the cauldron.
thingy?
oh, it's right here.
The talkie leg.
Ian?
Yeah, but
I call it the
Okay.
talkie leg.
So I'm still here.
It's totally covered in cheese.
Too many people too close. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and since I'm back here, I technically don't have to move. They are within range. I'm gonna go ahead and
and they're up, so yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and cast Electric Arc, which can hit. It has a chance to hit the one target and then the target behind it.
By how much range on the target behind it?
It's I believe 10 feet.
Okay, yeah, it's in range. I just had to make sure so that we weren't arcing it further than it was supposed to.
Yeah. But it does 2d4 plus my spell.
Okay, so go ahead and roll a hit.
Alright. Y'all taste my lightning, fuckers!
Woohoo! Do you say that out loud in character?
Fuck yeah, I said that out loud in character.
Whether he hits or not, he always says that out loud in character.
All right then. You hear in answer from Kalora's beak a woohoo.
19 in total.
That hits. Roll for damage. You all are just systemically taking these ones out slowly but
Wait,
surely.
nice.
I'm doing a really good job of
Roll
putting
the
them down so they can
damage,
be
it's
hit more
D20.
easily.
Wait, what's your damage?
2d4 plus 6.
Oh man, I have
Okay.
something called Incredible Initiative I didn't
4.
Four.
Eight.
Nice. Plus 6.
Well, it's plus 6 and then my spell attack roll.
So it'd be 14 plus another 8.
Or no, it was 8.
Yes.
14
The
and then
plus-
8. So it'd be 22. On the first first one I hit is 22.
And what's the second one?
The second one is just a 1d4 plus the 14. Hey, 4.
No, it'd be 1d4 plus, yeah,
Yeah,
14.
1d4 plus 14, 18.
As that hits, you watch this lightning arc slam into it, and it rocks, sizzling as these spines seem to have this arcing lightning coming off of it. It is looking rough, but still standing.
What did
Woohoo.
you hit?
Uh-huh.
On the other hand, the one on the back you
I
said
hit
hit
the one-
18.
Yeah, I hit the one right here for the 22 and
Yeah.
the one right there.
Oh, you hit both?
Yeah,
Okay.
I hit them both. That one was the
Yeah.
22 and that one was the 18.
Okay, now here's a question. Am I gonna get away with having a wet / somewhat metallic whip?
I'll give you a reflex save at a difficulty of, what did you roll to hit that?
Wouldn't it be fortitude since I'm not gonna let go?
What was,
Oh, yeah.
what was the hit? What was the
Yeah, we can go with that for half if you're not gonna let go.
I think it was like 19.
That
I don't
is
know. I don't remember.
13 plus 11 for 24.
24?
I think that was
Okay,
less than
so you would be. You're holding on to the front one, right?
Yep.
So you take 11 damage and are able to hold on to your whip.
Alright, cool.
that. Wait, she's
You-
holding on to that one? I thought the one that she was holding on to was the one that I killed.
No, I
No,
grappled the
she
one that
grappled that one.
Aspen threw at the well.
Oh, you did?
Yeah,
called
that
it.
was the last round's movement. They've been grappling them and holding them into place so they can't get away and everybody can kill them.
I mean, technically I could melee attack him, but I don't want to.
So he's.
I'm a fighter, but I know where I'm useful.
You can feel your feathers re-singed and re-tethered, and the. Have you ever been shocked by something like with a heavier voltage, where your body just tingles for a few minutes as the electricity slowly works its way out? That's kind of where you are right now.
Okay.
Like
With
everything
the
feels like
smell.
it's asleep, but not.
With the smell of burning feathers, can I go ahead and utilize the effect you gave me in the beginning of the game with post-traumatic clarity?
Not in this particular case. Different kind of burn.
Okay. It's
This
worth
is-
asking. I took note.
This is ozone. This is ozone.
All right.
With my bonus action, can I go ahead and pull out my magic blade?
Yes.
Alright.
That is right inside of your. That is
You
yeah,
want it?
exactly.
Alright.
First rule of being a
So,
player.
between you two.
Out of
everything your
the
DM
dimension
gives.
of nowhere cometh same said monstrosity of a sword.
Hell yeah.
I love it so much.
So yeah, after arcing the lightning, you watch Wisp pull a sword out of thin air.
Out of nothing.
Yeah, just
It looks
Really?
like smoking a sword.
looks like smoke and a very interesting sword with ravens engraved up the blade. And that brings us to Ronan.
So, one of my questions is, can I use my bonus action and like give it to the NPC? One
No.
of the NPCs.
Nope.
Like can like as a team up.
Nope.
Like, can I have him like ask him to build like a platform for me so I can jump off of it, like a magic platform?
They would
Yeah.
have to go before you in order to pull that off, and you could call that out as like a bonus action. Yes, but because they go after you, that is not going to work the way you need it to.
Okay. So, is there anything I can jump off of to get over and kind of land on the back of that one?
Well,
I am
to
pulling
be
it down.
perfectly honest, it is pulling. Because Kalora, you're the pink die, correct?
Yep, and I am pulled taut.
So you should be about here for 10 feet.
Yep.
So, to be fair, its
high
attention is definitely focused on them. The catch is that you can't get within 5 feet, but you could flank that one and still get your backstab.
Because what I want to do is I want to try
Okay.
to get. I want to jump off of something and get over it, and then on my way down, I'm going to stick out my wrist blade and try to sever the brain stem as I land on its back.
So you're going to try and vault off of its back. Well, there is a way that you could do it with
Or vault off of something to land on its back, and on the way
You
down.
get 2 attacks per round, right?
Yeah.
Is there a
or-
tree
or-
he could bounce off of?
or
to
like-
get
Because
over
of the way that this is particularly built, there are some lower hanging branches above you, like well within what your normal jump range is.
Hopefully you don't fall in the cauldron.
I would tell you that if you did it right with the acrobatics check to pull it off,
That's what I
you
was-
could technically walk up the front of one and use part of your movement as a leap before your second action, though it may get an attack of opportunity on you. And go for the one and you can go for your backstab on the one that's engaged with them because because you would be coming directly off of it, and it would put you out of range of the one that you vaulted off of. You could technically use the enemy as a vaulting point if you want to.
That's what I was wondering. Like, would I be able to jump? So you're saying jump off the front of
You
this
can
one?
attack that one. Use your attack and your movement to vault off of that one and hit it in the process, so you'll get your attack with it. And use the vaulting leap attack to get there, and you can land anywhere in this particular area as a result. And still be...
It's going to be multiple rolls.
Yes.
You'd have to roll in acrobatics. You're going to have to roll to hit twice.
Yes. Luckily, I think my dice are being fairly good to me tonight.
I'll allow for the cinematics of how we would have to roll that out to make it work. I'll let it try, and even if it fumbles, depending on how bad I might let it go.
I haven't had an I'm number one moment
Jump.
yet.
So
Wait.
let's try it. Let's go for it. I want to try that.
Alright, so first of all, I need you to roll to hit on this one.
That's a 20, right?
Yep,
Yes.
D20 plus your whatever your
Attack
attack bonus is on your dagger or whatever you're hitting it with.
So
That one you do not get a sneak attack on.
yeah, and that would I get a bonus since I'd be proficient in that one since that's the one that I made? Since it's my wrist dagger that I made, would I get a proficiency bonus in that?
Yes.
Yeah, but you're not using that one yet.
Yeah, that's the one that I'm using. I'm like,
Oh, I
it's
thought-
gonna retract as I'm attacking that one. I'm gonna give it a stab as I'm going up it, and then jump off of it and use it to attack the other one at the
Okay,
same time.
okay, I get what you're saying.
Alright, so go for it.
13 plus.
Hits.
Okay, that hits. Let's just go with it. Okay, so I need to roll a second hit,
No, now I
No,
need
no, never
roll for
mind.
damage.
Oh yeah, roll for damage.
and that would be
1d4 plus whatever your dex modifier is. I believe that's the higher of the two for you between dex and strength.
So it's 1d4.
1d4 plus your dex modifier.
Oh, underneath my phone.
Yeah.
Wow. 1d4. 3 plus 3 is 6.
3 plus 3 is 6. So it shrieks, and you watch as a gash forms up across its face as you walk up the front of it. Now, are you going through with your leap and your jump?
Yes.
Alright, so go ahead and make your acrobatics check. This puts you here.
So it's just d20 plus my acrobatics.
Dice are right, Ginny D was right too.
I rolled a little low, but it's a 12 total because I have a decent acrobatics bonus.
Okay, well you don't get any negatives to your armor class for being in the air and technically prone at this point. So there is that, but it does get an attack of opportunity. That's what I was using that one for. And of course...
And is this going against my AC?
Uh-huh.
21.
I actually rolled a natural 19 plus 2 for a 21. So it, as you go flying up its front, it bites your ankle.
Ow!
Which explains why you rolled so low.
Yeah.
It does actually, now that
You
you
should have
mention
rolled
it.
with that dice instead of that.
But that's the one I've been doing really good with.
Yeah, you were doing good with that one too earlier.
So,
We'll save it for
it bites into your ankle as you fly past, and it's an attack of opportunity, so you still get past because it didn't critically succeed and manage to snag you or anything like that. It bit at you and its mouth is not big enough to grapple.
Okay.
So you're good there. But you do take 5 points of damage as you're going through the air. It bites right into your calf and takes a chunk away as you're going in for your second attack on this one over here. And come down on its back at sneak attack height.
Put
And
it on top of that one too.
oh yeah, you were aiming for the top of the shoulders, bouncing from
Yeah.
demon to demon.
Yes.
So
Right on his back.
you did manage this with some ouch to yourself. Go ahead and roll the hit on that one, and we'll see if you actually land on top of it. Right now, you're actually here.
Oh.
Only about 15 feet in the air, so this could suck if you aren't.
I blame you.
It
What?
probably is my fault. You got a 2.
I got a 2 because I switched dice. You told me to switch
Plus,
dice.
what is your damage? Or plus, what is the bonus that you get to hit?
It would be
5 in total.
my
Your dex.
dex, so it would be 5 total.
Okay, so he goes flying through the air, catches a bite in the ankle. You try to spin away, takes a piece of your calf, and it just threw your momentum off. You do manage to... You didn't critically fail, so I'm not going to let it catch you. But as it goes down, all you hear is that dagger scraping across the spines and spikes on its back. This weird metal on infernal bone sound. and you aren't able to gain purchase on its back. But it was an awesomely heroic try, and y'all are still kind of impressed with the tumbling action and the vaulting off of another one.
It's gone better in the past.
Yes. It has gone way better.
Well, he's been a diplomat for a while. He's
Right,
a little
right.
rusty.
Right, like I haven't fought in a while. I was serving the queen as an ambassador for a while and searching for her. So I'm a little rusty.
Just
It's
just
okay.
a bit.
It's okay.
Pass the talkie stick.
You're only a little bit off kilter.
And that goes to Viridia.
Viridia stood up from where she was, but she left her staff on the ground. She draws her bow and she points and fires. Jiminy Christmas, I've got a terrible angle. First at that one. I'm not sure. I don't think I have a. Can I use a bonus action to fire a second arrow at this
You have
one?
quick shots, so you can get 2 attacks out and around with your bow.
Okay.
Bonus action to draw in 2 shots. It gives you a bonus action to draw your weapon and 2 attacks per round.
So
So you're gonna put an arrow
fire
in each.
first. Yep, put an arrow in each.
Okay. So which one are you aiming for first?
The one above the cauldron.
Roll with disadvantage.
Oof.
Close range.
Mm.
Ironically, it actually is harder to hit a target up close where you want to with a bow than at range.
13 plus 3 is gonna be 16.
Hits. Roll for damage. Since I've got it split up between 2.
Oh, I gotta check the damage on the short bow.
Wasn't that a composite?
1d6.
I thought your bow was a composite.
If it was, it didn't make it onto the character sheet.
No, it was one of the things you bought last game.
Oh,
That's right.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
When
you
I got
can buy a
my-
composite.
so
whip
okay.
upgrade.
This says it was a 1d6 short bow. What is it?
It was like 1d8 plus 1.
Okay.
I'm so glad I rewatch episodes.
Yeah, I didn't say last episode. I think.
Especially the combat-y part.
5.
Better. It winces as the arrow goes basically straight through its shoulder.
Nice.
You didn't shitty miss or anything. You hit him. It's not very happy. It's obviously trickling this weird ichor blood. You can see it hitting the ground and sizzling.
But it's still not down.
Nope, it's still not down, and it's its turn.
Oh no.
Wait, no, I still get my.
Oh yeah,
hit
you
on
get
the
your second
dude.
shot on the second dude. I'm sorry, my brain.
$15 plus 3 is 18.
18 hits. And that one, yeah, that one's just a straight roll because it's far enough away.
4.
4. So that arrow slams in and seems to have caught Purchase somewhere in the chest area. He's looking really rough after that one, actually.
Can I see? Character sheet?
Yes.
I'm curious. Oh. Wow. I expected differently.
And
I'm not
that
used to
brings
any
us.
weapons not having
By the way,
weapons.
both of them are still up.
That brings us to them.
Yeah. Now, the
It's
first
their
one
turn. Which means it
is
gets a
going
chance
to
get out
fling a
of
set of spikes at you, Ronan, and a set of spikes at you, Viridia.
Ew.
You're just an immediate threat because you dragged a blade down its back.
Yeah.
And, well, you put a hole in it at close range. It doesn't like you.
So do we have to roll a save?
For comedy's sake, it was like, haha, that tickles.
That will depend on the attack, whether we roll a 0.
Well, actually, these are basic attack rolls. So the first one, it is going to whip its tail backwards, and as it does, fling a spike upwards towards Ronan.
Okay, I'm also adding nimble dodge for my feet to that, so it's a +2 to my AC, making it a 23.
Okay, and yeah, that totally misses with a 13. And then it is going to what? It doesn't even look. It kind of just flings this dart at you,
Okay.
trying to just like doesn't even look. And then it looks at Viridia, and it brings its tail up. So it's an up, whip around, and it's going to fling its second spike in your direction. 14?
Doesn't hit my AC, it's
20, yeah. So you watch as one of these spikes hits the ground next to you. I'm just rolling low for that. If I roll that high like I did with that bite, it'd be better. I'd be a lot less happy to. So you watch as a dart goes flying past you, and it actually moves 30 feet up.
Am I still attached?
So this one is now, we'll say about.
Wait, how can it move up if it's still chained by a 10-foot whip? It hasn't done
Unless it's taken my ass with it, I am doing my best to.
How much do you weigh?
214 pounds of currently doing my best, wings spread, ready to argue with gravity. I am not a willing subject. I will not come up easy.
Oh, it's definitely up. That's right. It's anchored, so it can't do anything. And it's not going to break. No, it doesn't break it at a 13. It's a 15 difficulty in order to break that. So at a 13, it does not get loose of the whip, but it's trying.
I have one job and one job only. Keep that thing where it is.
Now for the other one. Yes, on top of the fridge.
Okay, so there's one.
So the second one is going to fling its darts at, well, at Ronan. The first one, 17.
My AC is 21 without nimble dodge. With nimble dodge, it's a 23.
So no. And no. So 2 more darts come into the ground from behind you and land firmly between your feet.
Is that all you guys got? Okay,
cute.
shoot worse than my grandma.
That's cute.
They're just rolling really crappy. And now Ishkabibble.
Ishkabibble, do me a favor. Heal up my calf.
He looks at, you'll live.
Oh, fuck
I love it, Kabibble.
You'll live. Not that bad. Quit
Yeah,
whining.
I'm sitting 20 points less on health, and you're like, I've got a 5-point of damage bite wound. Heal me.
Walks over to you with his movement, actually, that being said, and casts Cure Wounds.
Yes. Ishkabibble, I'm tipping you handsomely.
There you go. Because you're the big one, right?
14 plus his 8 is 22.
I'm back at max hit
Which
points.
makes the- I need chips. So Ishkabibble gives you 22.
I haven't been this healthy since before I left Evermist to
There's a
come back
wall
here.
behind you that might help. Move one.
So Ishkabibble gives you basically full health, I'm guessing.
Yes. Thank you, my fine green friend.
He just grins, and you see what looks like a very odd bone worm poking its way out from between his teeth, and it sprouts a little arm and waves at you.
Again, thank you, my fine green friend.
It's as familiar.
I love
It's a
that.
maggot.
I love that so much. I love that for him.
So now whose turn is it?
The ankle.
Penelope. Who is looking at a relatively well-damaged demon.
Can
About-
because I don't know, did I use all my actions before, or do I still have a bonus action?
It took all of your actions to perform that act of wow.
So I
The
couldn't,
act
I
of
couldn't
wow.
throw Penelope a dagger of mine, like one of my spare daggers, throw it to her as like a bonus action, so she has more than
This is a new round.
club.
Well,
New round. So
No, because I was at the beginning.
she has a slaughtering cleaver.
what
Yeah,
was
she's
turn
got
is
plenty
it?
of weapons.
Penelope.
Pennies.
Oh, pennies. Yeah. No, you can't.
She has a 3-foot-long, take the
Bat.
head off of the cow, cleaver with her. And you see the most amazingly bizarre thing you have ever caught in your entire life.
I am ready for this.
Because this thing is actually about 15 feet up in the air and obviously well outside of her range of able to hit it with what she's carrying. You watch as this woman, who's all of maybe about 5'7" and 140 pounds, chucks this cleaver through the air and hits this son of a bitch.
Nice.
The cleaver weighs about 20 pounds for the record. And you notice that her eyes almost seem to be glowing with anger. You suddenly understand why that man was so willing to not fight with his wife. You've seen that kind of barbarous rage before. Yeah, I decided that for her. It seems to be healthy.
I was gonna say it was the Queen's
The Queen's Guard's daughter.
guards.
I was gonna say, are you near me, Rowan? Because I'm gonna lean over and say, hey, doesn't this chick remind you of somebody?
I am.
Remember
Behind
the
the
NPC
dragon.
Queen's Guard?
Oh, you're over there.
Yeah.
You named her.
Okay.
You helped name her daughter Penelope way back when.
I'd forgotten all the freak about that.
You said Penelope and I was okay.
I completely
That's
Oh
what
my
we-
god.
Oh wow, that is so cool.
Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna yell across the room in that case. Hey, Rowan, doesn't this girl remind you of somebody we used to know?
Yes.
Oh my god.
She is a little 5'7", well-cut elf, and you. Okay, I need you both to roll a perception check. This is gonna make Liz geek out.
This was
If it
so
happens.
cool. I had no idea.
A perception.
None of you did. I did that on purpose. I told you they're all gonna turn into NPCs if we don't use them.
Ooh, dirty 20.
Well, that somebody did. Because I got a 10 with that one.
All right. So Ronan, as from where your angle is, she goes up like this and chucks this cleaver. She leans all the way down because this is a 145-pound woman chucking a 20-pound slaughtering cleaver. This is an act of strength, okay?
Yeah.
Her whole body was into that, and you notice that across her shoulders tears, you see a very familiar-looking family tattoo etched in mithril.
So it is.
Her daughter.
Now you can either relay that to me and be like, holy shit, it is!
I was gonna say, I look at you and I just yell, "Ha! Hey, she's got the family crest tattoo!"
I lose my shit. I'm just, no fucking way!
And is she noticing all this?
No, she's face down, having chucked a 20-pound cleaver and ran forward to do it to make sure that she could get the shot in.
Okay.
We're geeking out in the middle of battle because we went into a daughter.
Yeah, and by the way, it's your go. Aspen, the laser pointer is yours.
Okay.
I think Liz has. It's up there.
The power is yours.
Okay. Okay. Excuse me, pardon me. I was supposed to wrong spell is what I was in. So, the dude next to Rowan, is that guy one of our bad guys too?
Yeah, I'm between the two of them.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I've got the one that you cast Bone Shaker on, tied to the well, basically.
He's still floating over the well.
Yeah.
He's the Ronin cream in the demon.
A little more anchored to it.
I'm gonna hit him specifically, then, who's still floating on the wall with acid splash.
Roll to hit.
Do I need to roll a save for that?
Same.
What's the area of effect on that? Is it a
It's a
direct?
30-foot range.
Yeah, that's not the
Targets
question.
one creature.
Oh, yay! Targets one
Oh,
creature.
thank God.
I was about to say, is it a cone? Is it a blast? Is it a
Okay.
line?
Yeah,
Is it a
targets
one
one creature.
target?
So.
I mean, I can take more damage.
10
I'm
plus
fine.
7 is 17 to hit.
That hits.
Okay.
If all
And
else
I'm a
fails,
level
hit the
3
bird.
spell. So.
She'll live.
I'm impressed.
1d6, okay. 1d6, and heightened at 3rd level is the initial damage increases to 1d6 plus spellcasting ability modifier, and the persistent damages increased by 2. And the damage I did was 4. Plus spellcasting a modifier is 7.
4 and 7
11.
is 11.
11.
And persistent damage is 2 per round now.
Actually, no.
Did I kill it?
No. That type of persistent damage doesn't work on
Oh, okay, that works.
it.
Actually, no. Did I kill it?
No.
Damn.
No, it is looking much closer to as bad for wears as the other one now. It has some acid burned holes through its wings, and a couple of and parts of its flesh and spine seem to be melting. And now we are back to Kalura.
I'm anchored down. I've got my stance, so I'm not like pulling back. Like if this thing flies at me, I'm gonna fall on my ass pulling. I'm just anchored, and I'm gonna reach over, with one hand still in the whip, reach over and draw my longsword, and use my wings to propel myself into it, pulling on the whip. So you can imagine me reaching forward before I grab my sword, pulling the sword and using the momentum of the whip and my wings to shove myself into it.
Roll an athletics check, difficulty of 20. You get advantage on your roll if you succeed. If not, that did nothing for your momentum and your strike.
Nyeh. Not touching it.
Oh, that's a 20.
Okay. So yeah, go ahead and roll with advantage to hit.
That's another nat 20 for 33.
That definitely hits. Roll damage, and it does not get halved.
20s, man. Like your dice are rolling good tonight. Apparently.
Well, I
locking them up for
basically
3 weeks worth.
just tell me what the full dice damage is, because it has
That's
resistance to all of the damage that you cause.
Apparently locking them up for a long period of time makes it work better.
Right?
That would be 25 damage.
Don't double the dice.
Oh, okay. Well
It's
then.
resistant to bludgeoning, slashing, and piercing if it's non-magical.
Okay. Well then, it would be 11
To which one?
to the one above
the
the
cauldron.
I
cauldron.
had it. Okay, the one over the cauldron?
Yes.
Alright, so you hear a shrieking gurgle As Kalora's spear penetrates this infernal creature and demonic blood and ichor
Longsword.
go down your arm and cover you, and you are basically wearing it like a puppet as you come to the ground. And then that brings us to Wisp.
So is that one dead?
This one is out of the way now.
So that's the only one we got left?
Yes, and it has a 20-pound cleaver hanging out of it.
By the way, this dice is going in a special bag for next week.
It's like you have earned your rights.
2 nat 20s in a row. You get to play in next week's game as a special dice.
Alright, so considering the distance that is and what I want to do, I'm going to have to take
great.
do a few extra moves here.
Okay.
I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take... I was pressing the wrong button.
Don't do that.
So I'm going to have to take my monkey here, and I'm going to take and move my monkey as close as I can to the cauldron, where I'm going to use one of my cantrips. It's dimensional assault, basically like a teleport. And what I want to do is I want to take, and as I'm kind of like moving towards this thing, I want to go into the dimensional assault, basically disappear and reappear, like just above it, and just run my sword, my packed sword, down into its skull.
And that one's magical.
Yeah.
Okay, so that will move. Doing that, you can technically do from where you are.
Yeah.
So where are you having that gate come out?
I figured I would do the...
Point to it and I'll move you. It's easier that way so you don't got to
So I
stretch.
figured I would do the dimensional assault. And
Where's
I'm
he
gonna
popping
go
out
ahead, have him just above, like
So
just
over
above
top
it.
of him?
Yeah. So I can just kind of like bring
Are you
my
going to be
sword-
falling behind him to the right or to the left? Because if you fall in front of him, you're going to fall on Ronan.
No, I'm gonna kind of like, I want to fall. If I do fall, I'm gonna fall over this way.
Okay, so we're going to put you right here because you're going to be jumping downward with a blade, and I can't guarantee. Go ahead and roll to hit. Alright. You do get to use, well, yeah, you get to use your spell attack bonus with that sword in particular.
We make a very good team.
Fucking wait.
This is possibly some of the most tomfoolish combat
Oh,
I've
that is
seen.
not
that
even
I
cool.
will
It
hit.
bounced off the toast.
Yeah!
I'm gonna die.
Well, I was right that three of these guys would definitely give you guys something to chew on.
And then.
Yeah, we've been itching for something
Oh,
to hit
my
for a
hit.
minute.
Yeah, that was a hit. Which
Oh,
is
okay.
Eight,
So I got a
8
20.
o'clock.
8 plus 12.
Got a 20 for hit.
That hits. Roll for damage.
Is it a fighter or spider?
Roll for damage.
It's a fly.
Big ass fly.
Uh,
Hi there, friend.
damage? It should be like a d6 decoy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry.
what are you casting?
Why is everybody trying to roll damage with
My
d20s
brain
on
was
me?
being
I
weird.
don't
It's
know.
Okay.
I started
We
to
want
read
your
that.
things dead.
Yeah.
Very, very dead
So
apparently.
that's the one that has 0, 1, 2, 9. You also have the double 0.
Talking about this one?
That one will also work. That's your percentile, but you can use it as a D10 also.
Yeah.
Just take the 0 off of it.
Okay. Whatever we're doing, we're doing.
So he got, what's that say?
8.
So he got an 8.
Plus.
Either strength or dexterity, whichever's higher.
Well, it would go off from my spell attack, wouldn't it?
Oh yeah, so it'd be your spell plus whatever your spell attack bonus is.
So I got a 16.
So, and now for the question that everyone thinks, how would you like to do this? How does it look as you fall down and kill it? That is the last enemy on the board. How you want to do this? You got the coup de grace.
I wanted to kind of like
It was worth it.
reappear just above it, come down, and like flip my blade. So that way, as I come down, I'm going to come down to the top of its skull and just kind of like slice it almost into two pieces, and one of the pieces is gonna fall over next to Ronan, and the other piece is gonna fall over next to this character.
Poor Penelope.
It's just gonna kind of like.
She's so mad too. So as you come down with the blade, you find purchase for a split second of it slowing you down as you leave this thing into as you described. The reason that you are hung up just a little bit about halfway through is because of the 20-pound slaughter cleaver that is hanging out of it from where she had chucked that thing. You cut her cleaver in half as well.
Oops,
You owe her a new cleaver.
that's not a problem.
And as it falls to the ground, and you each look around at everything, thinking you can assess the situation, you hear a rustling in the woods and sounds of things not untoward. And what appears to be two women talking. And we'll pick that up in 2 weeks.
Right?
Have a great night, guys, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you for joining us.
Don't
Like,
forget-
share, subscribe, and as always, live
Live long and prosper.
Bye!